Welcome into a brand new day here at ShopNBC and a brand new top value. That's right, a deal that's only good for one day. V91500, your brand new upsized version of the Manchester Ozzie, this time in a skeletonized automatic for $99.81 for value pays of $24.95. Stuhrling is all about giving you centuries-old, elegant design, but with modern components. A lot of times you get some incredible high-end complications, and it's all about the vision of the guy sitting right here next to me. He is the president of North American operations for Stuhrling Original. His name is Mr. Larry Magen. You guys know him. You love him. Give him a round of applause. How are you, bud?
Thank you very much, Jim.
Good to see you.
It's really great to be back here with our top value of the day, one of our most established franchise pieces we have, our Manchester Ozzie, and we went big, Jim.
Well, those of you that have watched the shows for any length of time know that I'm a big Manchester Ozzie fan. On my wrist right now, I'm wearing one of my personal Manchester Ozzies. Larry is wearing one of his, or was wearing one of his. He took it off. I didn't realize you changed. Okay, so here's mine, and I want you to see the size difference between them before we get into anything else, because there is a significant difference here. Here is the one on my wrist that we would have called an overall 47 millimeter. Now you're reading online on our website that this is 47 by 47. Well, that's a direct measurement. This is an overall 53 millimeter. It is substantially, and I mean substantially, larger than the original Manchester. But keep this in mind. It's still curved. It's still got that legendary curve that allows it to wrap around your wrist. This is the most comfortable square case watch you will own at any size. Now, one of the things when I heard they were going to do a kit where you could do interchangeable straps that I was worried about was, well, one of the big things is the strap goes all the way up, there's no space, and it begins to wrap around the wrist, aiding in the comfort. It still does. I don't know how you guys managed to do it, but you did. It is a nearly seamless integration. There is the new skeletonized black IP finished movement. And you'll notice you do have an acrylic plate here opening it up, but the rest of the dial remains traditional Manchester Ozzie.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. You know, we've combined 2 or 3 different elements here that we're really known for. We still have the great Stuhrling guilloche texturing on our dial that we really are known for, done with those vintage German machines. You see the sunray pattern, we call it guilloche soleil, emanating from the center. And then when you have the center cut out, what else are we known for?
Your skeletons.
Our skeleton mechanical automatics. And so we've combined it, but rather than give you, some kind of a distraction, it's, as you pointed out, the black IP plating on the movement, which I think was just a brilliant choice.
I'm still trying to figure out, is it a charcoal tinted crystal or is it a black IP movement? Because when I flip it over, everything's silver tone. So I'm not sure. Oh, wait, yeah, the top plate. I'm looking at the top plate there. Okay, so let's look at this. You've taken the best parts of this watch and kept them. The textured dial, the incredible curvature to the case, the stepped case design, and the integration of the strap all the way up past the lugs into the case. You've kept all of this and then added the fact that it's a tremendously larger watch. It's got a skeletonized movement, yet you retain that great dial, and it's an interchangeable. Watch this. All I need is one little finger, and that's it. No tools are required. Now, this is what's brilliant. There's no external modification to the case. It's the way you guys have the straps manufactured that gives it that fit. Larry, this is amazing. So they're going to get a black, red, and blue strap in every box. Let's show the one in front of Larry, because you're getting 2 choices. You order silver tone or black, and this is how they're packaged. They will each get a red, a blue, and a black rubber strap to fit in there. And they are signature straps, by the way, which are quite a bit more expensive. You look at all the high-end brands, you pay, $10,000, $20,000 for a watch on a rubber strap. It's going to have the name emblazoned throughout the whole strap usually. So you've got that look.
Right.
Oh, that black IP.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. That's something I think everybody should be on the lookout for. When you're looking at rubber straps, you want to see that logo. You want to see that custom name. because that tells you that you have made a custom mold specifically for that strap, and that costs many thousands of dollars. And the point is not that it costs many thousands of dollars to make that, but that you're not just getting an off-the-rack, off-the-shelf strap. And of course, just with the custom integration alone on this case, you should be able to know that. But the Stuhrling signature on the strap itself, and all three of the straps will tell you that for sure. But I'm going to put on the black one, Jim.
Now keep in mind, you will have to wiggle these in because notice how it's fitting in there.
Yeah, the integration.
I'm actually going to use my thumbnail
just
to make it a little
is
easier.
really tight, Jim.
And
that's
I'm having
important.
to do this backwards for you.
You don't want to have the pins just out at the end of the lugs with a gap or anything like that. And I think they've done a brilliant job of that.
And sliding that in place. Just want to make sure it drops in and locks so that we have no issues of it popping out. And it's not going to lock in for me. But it is a simple system. You will have to play with it. After you've done it a couple times, it will become second nature to you. But please do take that time to familiarize yourself with it, and you'll be just fine.
Now, as large as it is, 47 by 47, 53 millimeter case equivalency, look how it looks on Margaret here with her petite wrist. It wears like a bangle, Jim.
Yeah, now keep in mind, it is a big watch, but Larry's absolutely correct. The curvature and the comfort allow you to do pretty much anything you want with it. No issues, even on a tiny wrist. And it does size down. Margaret's got about, I'd want to say about a 6, maybe 6¼ inch wrist. She is extraordinarily petite, and she is able to strap that down and wear that without a problem. Now, obviously, the larger your wrist, the better it's going to look.
Now, I have an 8-inch wrist size, Jim, and I've put the black on just to give you an idea. Here's the black on my wrist, Jim. Take a look at this. Here's the nice shot of the packaging. You see how it comes with the 2 additional straps displayed in the case and strapped down, and the watch on the pillow. But again, here's the black now. Again, I have an 8-inch wrist size, and it's really quite impressive. For all you guys out there that are the watch guys in your office, in your company, everybody looks to see what watch am I wearing to work today. Let me see what you've got on. When you walk in with this one, it's going to grab attention because it's pretty large and with the
charge?
Large and in charge, and you look at all the nice rainbow numerals here.
Now that's the cool thing. You've got the rainbow numerals, so it matches any color strap you put on it. You're getting in your package black, red, and blue. That's how it's going to look on the wrist. I just want to give it a quick wipe, because I got my fingerprints all over it and whatnot.
Well, you've got the red strap on now, huh?
I did put the red strap on here just to give you an idea of how it will change the look. It makes it sportier. Most of you are going to keep the black on there. I don't want you to focus on the fact that it's an interchangeable. It's a great interchangeable. You see, it's not very difficult to master once you've done it a couple of times, and it's because of the way it's integrated here. It's a very, very tight, snug fit. But I want you to focus on the fact the one on my wrist, the original Manchester Ozzie, these have never sold for below $149. The one on Larry's wrist earlier tonight, the black version and the regular version had never gone below $130. Tonight, you're getting that same watch for $30 to $50 less than it's ever aired for, and you're getting upgrades or improvements or major differences, the size being one. The last one fit like a 47. This feels like a 53. Yes, it does fit that large. It is a big, big, big watch. But you'll notice something. The way it's curved, it's not hanging off my wrist, is it? Now, you expect 53 millimeters. It's going to hang off.
Yeah,
nope.
the curvature.
It's curved. Yeah. And the strap is formed in that rounded shape to curve. So it's made to fit properly. It's also got the double curved crystal. That allows the shape to flow through. What you have is a very rounded off square watch. Yeah. You've got the same step case, or step bezel, I should say, the same decorated dial, an upgrade to a skeletonized movement this time from the standard automatic movement. Everything that you would love for $150 on an Ozzie, you get, then you get more. And then on top of all that, it's an interchangeable strap set.
Yeah. And the blue strap, Jim, I would call that kind of a cadet blue. Actually, if you see your shirt in the background right there, it kind of went really well with your shirt.
It mixes in well. There's the red, The red's pretty funky. I'm kind of digging this red.
Yeah, when you're going for the color, you know, the shocking color, the
what
red.
a great 4th of July watch.
And you know, the red on the black, I tried that on in the office.
Does it look good?
It looks great.
Should we try it?
Absolutely.
We could play with it and see.
Yeah.
I do want to put the black on, though, if I can borrow that from you for a second.
Absolutely.
And by the way, these are soft, very comfortable straps.
High-grade silicone, extremely
fit up.
soft rubber.
Fit up to about a 9.5
flexible rubber.
to 9 3/4 inch wrist out of the box because they are generous straps. Again, though, not so long that a smaller wristed person can't wear it. I'm honestly going to say 6.5 inch wrist is the lowest unless you punch in additional holes. I'm not saying you should punch additional holes. That's up to you. Now, here's the black. I still kind of gravitate toward the black. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is exciting. Realize what you're getting. The value. Now, I know that you're having to battle a wait in the phone room. Please use automated. Use ShopNBC.com. Do not miss out. I'm going to have to make a prediction here, Larry. I think the black is going to go before the silver tone. Now, they both look great, and they're both very versatile. But I think the black IP is going to be the winner.
Well, if I gun to my head, I only had to pick one, I would go with the black as well.
See, there you go.
But you know, I like the one I wore in here tonight earlier, the original Manchester, I wore the black one. But truthfully, we did make more on the black, so it's going to be a pretty tough race.
Could be neck and neck.
We didn't come in here, you know, with 10,000 units, so you know, you know, it's going to be a race to see which one goes first. I'll tell you.
All right, let me pry that off of there.
Would you like this one, Jim? Over here?
I'm not going to yank on it so hard next time.
But you know, one of the things I want to point out here is that all of the characteristics that make the Manchester Ozzie such a popular piece for us are all present here. And number one, as Jim has pointed out, is the curvature of the case. You've heard me say it many times, Stuhrling Nation, that the most comfortable case that we make is our Manchester Ozzie case, our Manchester chronograph. That's the square case with the curvature. It just forms to your wrist. And one of the key ingredients of that curvature of the case is the way on the Manchester how the integration on that one of the leather strap with the pre-curved metal inserts just literally wrap the wrist. You have that same extended curvature with these lugs and the integration of the rubber strap on the new Manchester Ozzie Skelton that we have here today on today's Top Value. Now, we have a nice shot, Jim, here of the mechanical automatic. Now, this is our ST90050 movement, Jim. It's a 20-joule, 3-hand mechanical automatic, and right here is a nice shot of the balance wheel. You can see the balance wheel that's oscillating here at 21,600 vibrations per hour, which comes down to 6 beats per second. And, you know, that's one of the nice things about, you know, owning a mechanical automatic. There's no battery in the watch, and you're really, you know, making a commitment to your own sense of personal style by owning a mechanical. Watchmaking the old-fashioned way. It used to be a couple hundred years ago, where you have just, you know, pieces of metal parts, and it's all put together, configured in such a way to keep near perfect time. And it's, you know, one of the things that we're known for, of course, is our mechanical automatics, Jim.
And don't forget, with Father's Day being right around the corner. Well, not really right around the corner. Mother's Day obviously comes first. But you know what? Don't forget about Father's Day. That's also very important. The 91500, do what you got to do to get on the phone because these are going quickly. Black being the one going the fastest. And there is the black we were messing with earlier, putting the red strap on there. How handsome that looks.
Yeah.
Little minor surgery there, but we got to figure it out. Now, again, is this going to be, I'm going to take it right out of the box, it's going to drop right on and bam, no. You are going to have to play with it for a couple minutes and familiarize yourself with it because there is a very snug fit between the rubber and the steel.
Right.
But that's also what makes this so appealing and so different from all of the other interchangeable regular strap kits that you see. There's no gap. It's seamless and it's beautiful. You know, do what you got to do, folks. This is hot.
If I could make an analogy on that, Jim.
An analogy?
Yeah, it's kind of like if you've ever seen the interchangeable link bracelets with quick change pins on some different brands or some different models and what have you, where you have a stiff end link. and you know you have an integrated end link, and it's not as easy to change as the other type of interchangeable straps.
Look at this
where
on the wrist.
There's no link. Here it's almost like an integrated end link where it's firm, and so that's gives you the case integration, Jim.
And there again, and you can see better when I'm not knocking watches over. You can see the Stuhrling branding in there and on the other side as well. Very, very high-end look. I'll be honest with you, when I came in tonight, I had not seen this before I came in the building tonight. I was talking with Larry. I said, you know, I think I still love my original Manchester more. You know, after wearing it, I've had this thing for years, and I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite Stuhrlings. And I'm like, you know, I've seen the pictures. It looked all right. And he goes, honestly, you need to go look at it in person. So he walked over into the visuals area and put it in my hand. I went, wow. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. On our website, because the exact measurement is 47 by 47. Well, the actual overall measurement, if you're wearing a round case watch, a 47 millimeter would fit inside of this. This, the original Manchester, is a 47 overall. This is a 53 overall. It's very, very big. So that jumped out at me first. And then I saw the beauty of the movement. And it didn't sacrifice my favorite feature of the Manchester Ozzie, which is the dial work. Did not sacrifice a bit of that. And you've also still got the great rainbow numerals. What does that mean? It wears with anything. I don't care what color you're wearing, it's going to match. Go to our website. Go to ShopNBC.com. Because at this point, you're not going to get through on the phones. You're going to be waiting. You're going to be on hold. There it is. Click on the big, giant banner and make your choice. Black or silver tone, but do it now. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. I want to make a picture frame out of that. Look at that. Put a picture of your loved one in the middle
one
there.
of the most fun watches that we make in our entire gallery, Jim.
It is fun. It's so fun I can't stop playing with it. It's like a party in a box.
Yeah.
Big party.
Party in a box. I like that, Jim.
All right, V91500, this is your shot. Be the first kid in your neighborhood to have this new toy. $24 a month. Today's top value means you're getting an incredible value on an amazing timepiece, but it's a one-day only offer. If you're not acting on it right now, you are not. Well, you might lose out on it. All right, other good stuff coming up. The Ascot Pavilion, the 91467, okay? This is a gorgeous watch. Forget what you see on the screen. This thing's a monster. It's huge. How big is this, Larry?
I believe this is 46, Jim.
Oh, my goodness, it's a monster. But it looks so beautiful, and it's uber, ultra slim. And $27 a month. Also, the 91411, the Metropole Elite. This is the automatic on the bracelet. If you want the brown, which is the one that comes out as an aubergine against the rose tone, you better call now. I'm telling you right now, it always goes. Then, you know what? That rose and black is still mighty darn hot. $66 a month. Another big watch. Wears about like a 50 millimeter timepiece or bigger. It's big.
Yeah.
And one more to show you. Brand new today. And I'm going to call this the extra long, okay? I'm going to tell you why in a minute. The 91506. It is the Alpine Challenge on the steel mesh bracelet, but it's the extra long bracelet made for guys with huge wrists. I'll show you when it comes out here. You could fit this on your calf, most normal people. And I don't mean that baby cow that you keep in the back room. I mean around your leg. Right now, though, we're going to go to something very elegant, very classy, right up this man's alley. This is the Emperor, V91239. And this is where I kind of take it down a notch because the watch is so elegant and so refined and so beautiful. It is probably, it is absolutely the most elegant watch that Stuhrling manufacturers. I mean, you might look at the Tourbillon or you might look at the Saturnalia and go, you know, those are beautiful, those are elegant. This is old world elegance at its finest because what you're doing here is you're replicating the look when pocket watches were transitioned over into wristwatches. What they would do is they would solder on a bar or a T-bar like this and this little guy right here. and they would put a strap on it. Now, it would retain, obviously, the crown at the 12 o'clock position so that everything would be upright, and they would wear them on their wrists. Now, this obviously is a big upgrade from that. You're looking at a beautifully textured main dial, but look at the outer track, done in genuine mother of pearl in gray or in the green. The 91239 is yours for only $174.75. Larry, tell us about the complications, because this is not just a standard regular run-of-the-mill time-telling device.
Absolutely. This is our, as you point out, our Emperor, but it's a dual time zone timepiece, Jim, in addition to the old world styling that you mentioned with the crown and the bow at the 12 o'clock position, but you also can set a secondary time zone with the subdial over there at the 3 o'clock position. But what I also love about this piece is the beautiful open heart complication. You know, we do quite a few open hearts, and we have them at 12 and 6, and this one has it at 9 o'clock, but the vertical bridge, to me, is so elegant with the 6 blued screws. I think it's really one of our finest that we have. And then the inlaid mother of pearl chapter ring really is one of the most difficult things in the manufacturing process for our Emperor, because it has to lay flush with the dial. And you might notice at that subdial over there at the 3 o'clock position how it's custom cut to actually kind of wrap that little subdial, and there's a very thin piece there. It really is very fine watchmaking. And by the way, Jim, these two colors here, this kind of emerald hunter green that you have here and the gray, are two of the newer executions. We came out with these two colors in 2009. And
by the way, every time they have aired, they've sold out. Gray always goes first for whatever reason. So if you want the gray, you better act now. Now, in order to set the secondary time zone, clockwise you're used to setting a watch, but then what you do, watch what happens when I'm going backwards. Oh, wait, it doesn't set like that.
It does. When you keep your eye on the subdial as Jim does this. Now, when it hits 12, the hour hand actually stops at 12 o'clock on the subdial, and now you're doing your time differential. So Jim just set a 3-hour time difference. And now he's going forward, and they both will come forward at the same time.
Okay, so it works a little bit differently than some of your other dual time zones do.
When the subdial hour hand hits 12, it will stop, and then you set your time differential. That was very nicely done, Jim.
I want to show you the gray again, because now I'm being told that is the most limited. As always, it goes first, and they're going to sell out very, very quickly. I've got a little more than 50. Larry's going to try this on. It's going to look great with a suit. I'm wearing the gray.
Well, you notice I have a little green stripe here in my new shirt.
You are the man. Now, by the way, this is one of the very few times I'm going to tell you this is not a daily wear watch.
Right.
Obviously, it can withstand that, but the point of this is an occasion watch. You dress for the occasion. You dress for the watch. You've got one of the most beautiful, one of the most elegant watches that Stuhrling has ever made. One of the most beautiful watches I can really think of from any brand as far as old world elegance. You're not going to wear this with a t-shirt or something. You're going to be dressed up in your finest clothes, your finest suit. You're going to be on your way out the door. But Larry has chosen to pass off the watch to Margaret instead. Well, we're going to see what she looks like in it.
I had it on my wrist, and then it occurred to me, you know, a lot of ladies do like our Emperor. It's a 41 millimeter case design, 13 millimeters thick, and very, very, I mean, it's a unisex type piece, Jim.
V91239 for value pays of $43.69. Again, it is a mechanical automatic featuring a dual time zone, 2 different time zones in one movement, which is very difficult to achieve in a single movement, by the way. Then you've got the open heart complication at the 9, exhibition case back so that you can see the beauty of that decorated movement anytime you'd like to. A dual deployant clasp on this genuine leather strap. And now the leather strap is fashioned to replicate the look of alligator. So again, I mean, everything about this is about style, is about elegance, is about beauty. All of which, by the way, Margaret displays on a daily basis. So, all right, we need to go. Not J. And by the way, that's a great point to bring up. The V number actually stands for the fact that they're being drop shipped from the vendor directly to you, meaning you don't have to wait for it to get shipped to us, then for us to do our thing, and then process it, then ship it to you. You get it a lot quicker. And by the way, Spotlight! Encore by Daniel Kavat. Is that how it's pronounced? Kavat? Sure. It is that. There's so much wording on there. All the font's too small to read, so I don't even know what it says. I do know that it's a knit V-neck, and it'll be available for $33 and 3 value pays. Guys, you have no idea that the monitors are like a football field away from me. Oh, by the way, we were talking about the drop shipping thing. I saw a few people post today at Watch Geeks that the tourbillon they bought night before last, many of them have already got it, photographed it, put it on their wrist, and wore it today.
Yeah,
That's fast, man.
If they live in the Northeast, you know, those people that live up in the New York, New Jersey, you know, those areas up there, they were getting them right away the next day.
Next 2 hours, Stuhrling watches 3 a.m. Eastern coin shop, and then 5 a.m. Eastern gold style. I believe Sean Wilsey is going to be in for the coin shop, if I'm not mistaken. So that's always fun. I think actually 1 hour is even dedicated to all silver coins, if I read his Facebook properly. Hey, we're all on Facebook. You can check out Sean. You can check out me. Do a search for Jim Skelton. Look for this ugly mug, and you're going to find me, because there's like 300 Jim Skeltons, believe it or not. Who knew? Hey, but there's only one of me. You guys know that. V91467, the Ascot Pavilion. See, you do have to have that country club accent to say Ascot Pavilion. And it is very elegant. It is very old world, timeless classic. It is one of those watches that when you buy it for a lifetime. You're gonna be wearing it for decades. It's never gonna go, in or out of styles. Doesn't matter what trends are coming in or out. Rose tone already almost sold out. Now that's a lot bigger than you expected it to be. That's a 46 millimeter behemoth, but it's so classy and elegant. It doesn't even play that big. But look how slim. Larry, how slim is that for 83 bucks?
Well, I'll actually slap the micrometer on there, Jim, and we'll measure it, but I'm going to estimate about 7 millimeters. The distinguishing characteristic of our Ascot Park series, every model in the series is slim. I mean, it's a super slimline series. We have another model called the Ascot that's about a 40 millimeter. This is the Pavilion that bumps it up in size, so it's, much more of a current size for what the market actually goes for today, these larger pieces.
We're going to go to the phones real quick. We're going to talk to Angelique, who lives all the way out in Illinois. How are you tonight, Angelique?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining our show tonight.
Hello, Angelique.
Hi, Larry. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you.
So what brings you into our lovely little program?
Oh, well, I was watching and I saw today's top value. And when I saw it was an Ozzie, I was like, I have to have it.
Did you squeal with excitement, Angelique?
I almost just dove on my husband and just beat him up because I was so happy.
Oh, boy.
I've been wanting an Ozzie for so long with the black face, and it's always been sold out. And when I saw I had the 2 extra straps, I was like, this is it. I got to get it.
Yeah, this is a hot look.
That's great.
It's so comfortable, too. So I really hope you enjoy that, Angelique. Now, does your husband get into watches as well, or are you the only one in the house with the bug?
Oh, we have, I think in a matter of 3 or 4 months, we've probably collected together 30 to 40 watches.
My goodness.
And we have quite a few Stuhrlings in our collection. And I was so excited to see when, Jim, you said it was a bigger watch and you put it on the model. I was like, that's it. Got to get it.
Got to get it. Got to jump on that.
Got to get it.
Well, fantastic. Angelique, congratulations. Welcome as being newer members of our ShopNBC family. We certainly appreciate your support, and I'm glad that you're buying all the watches that appeal to you. And I hope that we can continue to tempt you more in the future.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you very much, Angelique.
You too. Bye-bye.
Much love to you.
So Angelique and her husband, both newer collectors, at least to our presentations here, already own about 30 watches, many of which are Stuhrlings. They're coming back time and time again, and that's got to make you feel good, Larry. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to everybody at home. But I've got another spotlight to tell you about. Coming up later on today at 8 p.m. Eastern, how about 14-karat gold polished ribbon hoops? Wow, I didn't know they could even ribbonize hoops. Is ribbonize a real word? I don't know. It is now because it's been said on television. Now, you're going to get the first presentation at an intro price tonight at $116 or at $149. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a difference. There's 2 different prices. Oh, it's a size. There's a 1 inch and a 1.5 inch. There you go. Gold Style, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. All right. My boss will be happy. I walked away from a wonderful, humorous opportunity. I just stayed away from it. All right, what we're going to do right now is we are going to play with a brand new Gen X Sport. Why am I excited about this? Because you're seeing colors that are brand new. I've never had a chance to play with these until tonight. Now, I thought the red was going to be my flat-out #1 favorite winner, but you know what? Maybe it's just because I'm wearing blue tonight, but I am going to be rocking the blue. Now, keep in mind, this is the bigger size of the Gen X. This is the Gen X Pro size, the bigger.
That's correct.
48 millimeter.
49.
Exactly what I said, 49 millimeters. And you're getting that wonderfully complex movement, which we'll get into in a moment. But I want you to kind of absorb the beauty and the new finishes. It's $149. It's only 4 value pays of $37.31, so a scant more than $1 a day. Now look at the new blue IP. IP stands for ionic plating, for those of you unaware, and that is the surfacing of that steel in a color, whether it be black or gold tone or rose tone or blue. You're getting that IP finish. Now, I don't want to in any way talk down about the older variations because they're identical, just color difference. I think I kind of like these because you've got a metallic color in this main dial plate and you've retained that deep charcoal for the textured dial. I think it kind of makes everything pop a little more and show that 3-dimensionality.
Well, the first 2 colors we had in the Gen X Sport were, if you remember, were the yellow and the orange. We came out with them right in January of 2010. Now here's the 3 newer colors. What are we calling these? We got blue. Are we calling this one red?
Blue, red, and brown.
I do that. Blue?
No, blue, black, and brown.
Okay.
I don't know which one's supposed to be black. I don't see any black. I guess the red we're calling, really? We're calling red black.
I guess they're going to go by the bezel color, Jim.
Because, bezel color. Go by bezel color.
Okay.
'Cause I was struggling to figure it out
All
myself.
right, so blue, black, and brown, right? Now the brown gives you that bronze tone on the bezel, but the Gen X Sport, you know, we love this piece. One of the things that I want everybody to notice, we'll get into the dial work, which is phenomenal here, and the movement as well, but the strap.
I'm sorry. My producer pointed out something I must point it out because I've said before that one of your watches was the happiest chronograph ever made.
Right.
This is the saddest chronograph ever made.
Well, it's not a chronograph, Jim.
Well, I'm saying chronograph because I'm looking at subdials. It is your saddest dial ever made because maybe he wanted to be today's top value, and he's not.
And he's frowning. Well,
Well,
you've got it on an angle there, Jim, but I see that. I look for those kinds of things.
It's like he's crying.
So what's Jim talking about there is the retrograde day of the week arc right there. Looks like a frown. But
I find that to be so much more endearing now.
Yeah,
now I really want one. And yes, by the way, it is a multi-function. We're going to function some of that for you right now if I can get the clickies right.
Yeah, but you know, what I was going to point out here, Jim, is the integration of the leather strap. It does have those metal platform inserts that give you that seamless integration to the case. It's not just connected with, you know, at the lugs with a pin, okay? I mean, there is a pin through there, but you have the metal
extra support.
You've got the support of the metal platform insert sewn into the strap. But here we go, Jim, on the dial. You want to take it or should I?
You know what? I'm just going to point and look pretty. You talk.
All right. Well, what Jim is pointing to here is now this is the Citizen JR00 movement. It's got a retrograde day of the week, but you'll notice on the base dial you've got that Côte de Genève decoration, and then above that you've got an arc that's a bridge that's built up, and in that arc you've got an acrylic plate with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday printed on there, and then underneath that bridge you have a hand that actually supplies a background to highlight the day of the week, and it's a retrograde. That dial work is sensational.
So it's not just pointing, it's actually reaching around underneath that clear acrylic to highlight it.
Absolutely, and in order to, you know, accommodate that, the cannon pinion on the center axis here with the hours, minutes, and seconds has to be extremely tall so that all 3 of those hands, the hours, minutes, and seconds, must clear all of these subdial rings. The dial work on this is sensational. And then you do have the 3-dimensionality of the hour markers, Jim, the way they come out and then they go down into the center of the dial. So, which, by the way, this is the 3rd different model in the Gen X series, Jim, and all three we've used the same movement, so they have this, the same complications, multi-complications here.
Let's talk about the other complications too while we're able to keep this
Sure.
tight shot, because I think it's going to disappear
Well,
quickly.
over here
There's
at
a
the 9 o'clock
24-hour indication, AM, PM, and then what's this right up here,
Well,
Bud?
this is your calendar. This
Here it
gives
is.
you a 1 through 31, so it points to the date. So you have a day and date with a 24-hour indicator. So again, just a great movement here. We've been using it in all of our Gen X series up to date so far. And as you pointed out, Jim, once again, this is the larger case size. The original was
Yeah.
a 45. This is the larger 49 millimeter. And by the way, we didn't talk much about the strap, but it's time to go. So I'll pass on that till next
Yeah,
week.
you've got the deeply padded strap with the ridges built in, V91463, the Gen X. We call it a multi-function because it has many functions, but I don't want you to confuse that with some kind of inexpensive little doodad. Oh no, it's Master Calendar. And V90867, hello, the Florio for $156. How? I don't even understand. Wait till you see this watch. It glistens and gleams in the sunlight as if you were wearing a diamond bracelet. 4 value pays of $39, and brand new today. So new. Larry actually sent these to me just like 2 days ago. I've had these for 2 days to photograph. I didn't photograph them yet, and we're already airing them. This is the Challenger, and I want everybody to be ready for this presentation because Larry and I are going to take you on a magical, magical tour of a brand new, beautiful, what I look at is a nautical design. You may have had a different idea when it was being designed, but I see it as being very nautical. All right.
It is not.
Get ready for a very quick presentation. You know it, you love it. This is the limited edition, the only way it's ever been made in the triple black, 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 black. This is the one that I own and wear, and every time I wear it, we get emails, what is Jim wearing? This is it. This is the final quantity. There are no more in this numbered limited edition. When they sell out tonight, there are no more. It is the Il Capo. It will wear as if you're wearing a 48 millimeter, 49 millimeter timepiece. It's big, it's thick, it's heavy. It is unbelievably dark, sinister, and cool. It's V91215. It's a mechanical, automatic, big date with sub-seconds. All right? 227.
277.
Or 277 rather, which is the actual correct number on the screen. And 3 value pays of $92.33. I'm just going to tell you as an owner, if you don't buy this watch, you're insane.
Well, Jim, everyone's asking me, when are we going to do more with the El Capo? Now, there were 5 colors. Basically, the other 5 are pretty much gone. There might be one piece here or there. They're all limited editions. Every execution had a different quantity, 100 or 150. On the black, we made the most. And we did that basically for you, Jim.
The anticipation. You knew it was going to be the most popular.
And so we made 250 units of the black. We're in the final quantities here. At this point, I'm sure we're under 100. I don't know exactly where we're at.
Less than 80.
Less than 80?
That's it.
Okay. So these are the final quantities. The other 4 executions are basically gone. And it's a very popular piece. It's very classy. It's very elegant. And the triple black.
Here's the photography I was able to do on mine.
I forgot about these pictures,
Yeah,
Jim.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
I fell madly in love with this watch. Look at the dial detail.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's what you're buying into. That's what you're gonna own, man. Wait till you get this on your wrist. I'm telling you. Well, when I last time I went to go visit you guys up in New York.
I remember you wore it.
I always bring more than one watch with me. And I said, you know what? When I picked out the watches I was gonna bring, and I put this on that morning, I said, I'm gonna leave the other watches at home. And I wore this for like 2 full days. And I don't ever wear the same watch 2 days in a row. And I didn't get bored with it. I was glad I had it on. I loved it. Those of you that I had a chance to meet in New York, because oddly enough, I get a lot of people that approach me if I go to New York. You saw me wearing this watch. This is one of my top, I'd say one of my top 3 Stuhrling watches in my personal collection. You need to own it. Look at the way the 9, the 3, everything, they're angled downward toward the dial. They're up on a ramp. But they're also done in this gunmetal charcoal, so there's nothing that just jumps out at you. It's all very subtle, but they're still diamond cut. They're faceted, but yet they're dark and sinister. I'm sorry, this watch is pure sexy.
Yeah, it's very dressy, and as you point out, it's You say sinister, I think that's a good description. One of the things also on the case size, this is 44 by 44 square. And just think about that in relation to what we were selling as the TTV, or showing earlier as the TTV, which was 47 by 47. This is 44 by 44, has a case equivalency.
And it's still big.
Yeah, well, it's a case equivalency of 50, Jim.
It's a big old watch,
A case equivalency of 50.
But it's not overbearing. Again, it's really curved nicely. And it's shaped for the wrist. By the way, exhibition caseback shows the decorated automatic movement and the numbered limited edition status. And on top of that, Larry went furiously crazy on his word processor, and they formulated a wonderful certificate of authenticity that will accompany it. That, you know what? You need to have a free afternoon to read all the specs that's on that sheet. He even put down the color of the screws. I'm not lying to you. $277. Let's go to the phones.
Sure.
And speak to somebody else up in the Northeast, up in New York. How about Leah calling in from New York? How are you tonight, Leah?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
Hopefully you're
Wonderful,
going to
Leah.
be fantastic by the time we're done with you.
I'm already tingling. I can't wait to get my order home.
What did you
get?
order?
Well, I ordered two. I ordered the, don't laugh. I ordered the watch that, the old world, which seems to be
Emperor.
translated from a pocket watch.
The Emperor.
Yep.
The Emperor. And I ordered the big dial, the colorful one in the white.
Oh, today's top value.
Today's top value.
Oh,
now,
you were going to
I
be
was
so
a little
happy.
nervous because you were saying it's so big, and I so trust you. When you say it, I believe it.
Yeah, again,
But because
big watch, but not overbearing, will be comfortable.
right, and it helps to see it on a woman because she's so petite that I really kind of got up the courage because I have to have it. I love your Stuhrling styles.
Oh, thank you so much, Leah. We really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I did purchase one before tonight a while ago, and it is a Skelton mechanical.
Okay.
It's lovely. It's really large too, but I get so many compliments, and it's amazing how you can have such large watches, but still have a hint of femininity to it that women can enjoy.
Kind of like you, Larry. Just
Well-
a hint of femininity with your pink shirt.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, my ex-wife used to tell, no, forget it. We won't go there. No, but thank you, Leah. You know, a lot of ladies now do like to wear the Skelton mechanical automatics. They're not just for the guys anymore. And
Right.
I think that's great that you've jumped in.
Yeah.
Well, Leah, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your passion with us. And I can't wait to hear from you after you
Much
receive
love
your
to you.
watches.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. You guys have a great night.
You too.
as
Take care.
well. Thank you.
Folks, I have dwindling quantities here. These are already almost gone. I'm going to put it back on the wrist one more
Did you
time.
notice when you had that on the screen what number that sample is?
This is number one.
Somebody-
Number one. Nobody's going to get number one.
Somebody in the office is going to get in trouble now.
Oh,
we
man.
don't send out number one as sample, but somebody did. So anyway, it's probably me.
Look at that. Look, I'm telling you. And out of all of my Stuhrlings, this is my most worn. Now, I've got about, I don't even want to count, but probably 14, 15 Stuhrlings. I love them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have them.
Right.
But this is my top three. It is my most worn, however. I mean, my number one is my tourbillon. I mean, you just got to put it out there. It's a tourbillon, my goodness. But this one, I'm an all-black kind of dude, man. I like wearing a lot of dark colors. I like wearing a lot of black and charcoal, and this watch fits my lifestyle.
Did we mention the curvature of the case?
Absolutely we did, but we're
Okay.
going to demonstrate it right there.
Yeah. You know, once again, the square case with the curvature makes it so comfortable, Jim.
Look at that. Yeah, it's a big watch. Yeah, it's beefy. And yeah, the added weight of those 3 bricks of stainless steel on each side of the strap add more heft to it. But that's what makes it so great. And it's fitted to your wrist. Congratulations on owning what I consider to be one of the best Stuhrlings ever made. And you're buying in the final quantities. It's almost gone. That'll be it. I wonder if they'll notice if I switch mine out for number one. You think they'll notice? Probably not. All right.
No, man.
V91500. Ooh la la! Today's top value for $99.81. For value pays of $24.95. Big and bold in your choice of black or silver tone. Mechanical automatic Skelton, and it will feature an interchangeable system with 3 straps included. All right. There are only a couple remaining in the brown here. I can't even really get off on it because if I take it off and put it on, it's going to be gone. V91411. What's the 411? This is an awesome watch.
This is one of our finest. In fact, I will say this unequivocally: the Metropole Elite features the finest jewelry bracelet that we have ever done on any timepiece in our entire gallery of timepieces. We really set out to prove a point with this one, and it's got screws in the links all the way through. But even the center panel on the links, that brushed satin finish.
Yeah, these are multi-links.
Yeah, they're multi-links, and it's actually screwed to the H-link. Got little screws within there as well. So, and the finishing, as you can see, with the polish and the satin. And then, of course, mechanical automatic, open window at the 9 o'clock position from our Metro collection, Metro series, Jim, where everything's kind of large and rectangular. And
like big buildings.
Like big buildings, exactly. And you have the nice curvature of the case, nice case back design. You see the screwed in case back, solid 316L, surgical grade stainless steel. But this is definitely, one of my favorites. You saw that I was wearing mine. Now, I don't have the rose tone, and if I was going to have the rose tone, I would go rose tone black, even though I know the rose tone brown is...
the rose tone brown is the most popular, but I agree with you. I prefer the elegance of the rose tone black. It makes a major, major statement. And people are buying the rose tone brown for the uniqueness, because what you're getting, when you look at Larry's wrist,
look at this.
The brown comes out as an aubergine, a very deep, dark purple color when you look through the links on the bracelet. The dial is brown, but anything that's plated in the brown plating comes out as a purplish aubergine, and it's so odd, it's so cool, it's so different. And now that's already sold out.
Yeah,
so
we're
it's
down
only
to
black.
the final quantities on this. We did some damage to this the other night on the special event. Oh, it's gone?
That's gone.
All right, they're telling me
only
it's
in
gone.
black now. And there are about 2 dozen, and it's going to be gone. By the way, when we talk about being the best bracelet Stuhrling's ever made, no joke, this is substantial. The finishing is flawless and very, very, very high end. That's not to say other Stuhrling bracelets weren't nice, but this is a whole new level of awesome.
Yeah, it defies logic, really, at this particular offering that we have here on the screen. But
is this the first screwed bracelet you've made?
No, we've done some other ones that had the screws going through for the links, but not that had the multi-link in the center that was screwed to the link as well. Although I take that back, the Westport has that as well.
Yeah, I was unaware.
The Westport is the other one that has it, but I think the finishing on this is just more labor intensive.
And it is big. You saw that on the wrist. But look at the curvature. Look at the panels, the machined panels that are inset into the case metal. I mean, again, this is really an exercise in architecture. And you're getting that for $199? Insane.
One of our finest, Jim.
A watch like this, sitting anywhere, even with a cheap quartz, 3-hand, nothing special movement, would be several $100s by anybody else, or maybe even low thousands. And you're getting this for $199. I congratulate all of you for getting into it. By the way, if you visit ShopNBC.com, you can buy things. Oh, you want me to say more? Okay, you can click on watches, then click on Stuhrling Original, and then you can check out the whole boutique and gallery that we carry of Stuhrling. Now, also, if you click on air now, which is what my producer just did, it'll take you directly over to what we're showing. It's right. And then there's the whole schedule on the left. You can flip through the whole day. There's electronics and coins and all kinds of cool stuff. Right now, you hear that music? It kind of sounds like the opening to like some kind of really terrible, low-grade, low-budget Saturday morning high school teeny bopper soap opera.
Okay,
comedy.
Simon. Anyway.
It was terrible. It's awful. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking like it's got a... Yeah, exactly. It's got a bell in the name. Anyway, V90867. No bell here, folks. Check this out. You choose black or silver tone, and look what you're getting. Now, this also is a bigger case for Stuhrling. I mean, you guys you're not being shy anymore.
I believe this is a 44, maybe a 45. I'll measure it for us here. But this is from our Targa series, Jim. It's our Florio mechanical automatic. And you see it's a very race-inspired, the entire series of the Targa series. But this one's got a little different look, the Florio.
Definitely an Italian look.
I think so. And one of the things that's very different about this on the dial design, and Jim showing you the integration of the strap, how there's no lugs, and it literally integrates right into the case sides, with the grooves on the sides. It just looks like a big old tire, But in any case, the dial design, I should say, is very unique in the sense that you don't have your typical hour markers, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got the minute markers serving as your hour markers, really. You've got the 5,
And that
10,
is very race-inspired.
very race-inspired, like a gauge on a car, 5, 10, 15, 20, like a speedometer or something like that. But the key here is, it's mechanical automatic, 3 hands with a date, and of course this black and orange is...
Yeah, I was digging on the silver tone because I like the shininess of it. But this black and orange is the hotness. And here's what's truly amazing for this price. Yeah, not a quartz. That little black oscillating weight there, that is to wind up your watch. So as you're wearing the watch, natural movement of your wrist will wind the watch for you, keep it wound. That's why it's called an automatic. Look at that, $39 a month, a little more than $1 a day. I got to tell you, it's hot. I'm going to pass off the black there to Larry so he can measure it.
44,
I would say 45. Yeah, absolutely.
46, Jim.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm off by a millimeter tonight. I need to reset myself.
46, guys.
All right. The Florio is flying out the window. We got to go. Oh. My goodness, almost a full hour down out of 3. Can you believe it? We're
Is it
almost
really over?
Yeah, almost a third of the way out the door.
Oh, here
We're
we
going to hit
go.
the Challenger now.
All right, let's do it.
Bam! The 91503, the Challenger chronograph. I have a hard time making up my mind here as to which one I like the best because they each have a very unique personality, all their own. 22726. You choose. I'm sure I'll be surprised how we named it, but Silvertone Black or Rose Tone. Hey, that is how we named them. Wow. Now, Silvertone gives you a color combination, and many of you jump on immediately. It will have a gray strap. We don't see gray a lot. When we do, it's usually gone quickly. The polishing on this watch is nothing short of amazing. Usually we focus on Stuhrling's very, very intricate dials, and that's what you get here. It's a monster 48 millimeter case. It's a big watch. And the dial is amazing, but I want you to focus for a moment, if you would, on the bezel. And it is a rotating bezel. It is a multi-tiered, multi-step, and engraved, decorated, skeletonized bezel. You have skeletonized portions, and underneath there it exposes an ocean wave pattern.
Yeah, Jim, it's actually what we call a debossed bezel, and it's enamel filled, and it has the, as you point out, that wave design that's worked into the enamel filling. And it, by the way, the movement in this piece, Jim, is a StarTech 5030D Swiss Ronda, 6 jewels. It's got what I call the periscope style pushers. And as you point out, the dial work on this, I think, I know the...
Look at that!
The kind of the propeller style, it looks like a fan blade.
I didn't notice that before.
And you'll notice one of the fan blades, Jim, is red. So you can use that one. That's your small seconds. It's really, and when you point out it's kind of a nautical influence, you're absolutely correct, Jim.
It looks like those, I forgot what they're called, but the flags, the signaling flags. What do they call it? Not Morse flags. What are they?
Flags?
No, there's a name.
I know there is.
But I can't remember the name. Is anybody here the yacht or anything? The flags, the signaling flags they use.
They could be yachting flags, no?
Yeah.
Anyway,
whatever. That's what it looks like.
This is now we actually have brought out already our Challenger Pro. We brought out the one that was on the bracelet and the rubber strap. This is the brand new one on the leather strap. Same watch head, and we're doing a lot with our Challenger series. There's going to be a lot more to come that we're doing here. But Jim is pointing out the nice, the white cabochon caps that are on the pushers here.
And then if you
black
look at
version
the
is pretty cool.
rose,
Yeah.
you get the black enamel, same with the silver tone. Look at this. You know what? I could see a need to own all 3. The rose, for really going out on the town. You are dressing it up. The black to be the sportiest of them all. And it is. It is really rugged looking. It almost takes on a different personality. And then the silver tone kind of as a daily wear in that gray. Oh, look at that
this.
gray. I like this watch a lot. I'm going to go home tonight and photograph this because, like I said, Larry had sent me the samples to photograph. I didn't even know they were airing this soon. I'm going to photograph these tonight and put these up on Watch Geeks. I'll be up to like 5 a.m. I don't care. I'm almost without words. I like this watch a lot, and I cannot choose between them. I like them all equally, but for completely different reasons. $75 a month. Pick your poison, but grab it. Do it now.
I can't wait to see what you do with the photography on this one, Jim. But
Wait, look. I gotta show you this. Look, even the buckle.
yeah, the buckle.
Even the buckle has.
We've never done this before. This is new for us here. What we've got this the enamel buckle with the resin. It's got the Stuhrling logo.
And they
on there
each
as well.
have it. You know, the silver tone buckle is going to have the black. Folks, Larry, the detail,
Yeah,
detail everywhere.
Yeah, this was in production for a really long time, like a year, Jim. I mean, this one took a long time for us. I first saw the first renderings on this well over a year ago.
You may not get your samples back from me. I like these a lot. Again, they're so distinct and they're so different and so high end. I would swear on my life, hands down, I'll put my hand on whatever you want. You won't hear me say that twice. That this watch could easily be $800-900, and I wouldn't have batted an eye at it. That's very. I'm so impressed. Everything about this watch. So grab it if you can. Today's top value also still rocking. We're going to revisit it in a few minutes. Come back and join us.
What's your gold style? Is it classic? Is it romantic? Or is it trendy? Whatever yours may be, find your gold style during the 8th anniversary celebration, right here on ShopNBC.
Rangoli Rugs is an exciting new product line. The quality is like investment rugs, but they're hardly an investment at all at these price points. Great colors, great textures, and the best quality out on the market. It is the area rug that is truly the accessory that pulls the entire room together. I've worked in the design industry for about 20 years, so I'm really excited to bring all that expertise and knowledge and this new exciting Rangoli Rugs line to ShopNBC.
Hi, I'm Richard Anderson. Join me in Rangoli Rugs right here on ShopNBC.
From ShopNBC comes the latest in beauty innovation. Discover the beauty in you. Discover cutting-edge technology, timeless beauty essentials, and the most new beauty brands ever in 1 week. Find it here first. Beauty Discovery Week on ShopNBC.
It's happening, and it won't last long. ShopNBC is excited to announce that now until May 1st, all watches on air and online are available with 3 or more value pay. That's right. It's time to take home your favorite brands and discover new ones from our extended assortment online. Tune in all month long and discover the world of watches that ShopNBC has to offer.
Well, you know it. It's a brand new day here at ShopNBC, and we are proud to announce a brand new top value. The 91500. This is the Manchester Ozzie, the new Sport Edition. Why is it the Sport Edition? It's bigger, and it's on rubber. It's $99.81. 4 value pays at $24.95. That means the value is only good for 1 day, being at today's top value. Otherwise, it'd be called everyday's top value. You see how we're wording that? There you go. Had to explain it to you for the slow ones. That's all right. Anyway, you're getting a monster of a watch. The Manchester Ozzie has gone from being a 47-millimeter overall watch, which is what I'm wearing, my personal watch, up to this new 53-millimeter overall size. Now, direct measurement is 47 by 47, which comes out to a case equivalency of about 53. It's a big honker. Now, you're also going to receive, for the first time ever, under that beautifully detailed texture dial the Ozzie is famous for, you're going to get a skeletonized automatic. The guy that helps bring it out to us, his name is Mr. Larry Magen. He is the president of North American operations for Stuhrling, and they're one of our favorite dudes.
Well, gee, thanks, Jim. Thank you. You know, I'm really proud to be a part of this one. You know, the whole Ozzie design is something that the first time I saw it almost about close to 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago, whatever it was, I just loved it right away. And slowly but surely over the last 4 years, this has been built up into one of our most popular designs that we have in our entire gallery. We have our Uptown Ozzie, the XL, the Elites, the Manchesters, the Chronos, all the different Ozzie designs that we have. And now here we are finally for the first time ever in our history with ShopNBC featuring the Ozzie as a today's top value. And I'm really, I'm proud to be a part of that. And you know, if you just look, Jim, at the fact that you're getting a mechanical automatic at this particular price point, just that by itself, and then if you want to say, okay, it's a skeletonized, where you can actually see through the dial and everything else, that alone makes it a tremendous top value for the day. And then you start looking at what you're really getting here with the curved case design, the Manchester Ozzie design, the integrated rubber strap, and oh, by the way, 2 extra rubber straps as well.
Every watch will get black rubber, red rubber, and blue rubber included. Now, you'll notice the size difference between the old Ozzie and the new Ozzie. Yeah, you could literally fit one inside of the other. It is that drastic of a difference. Here's the great thing. Many of us for years have fallen in love with the Ozzie, and we've owned many, many versions. All the things that you love about the Ozzie are still there, have not been taken away. And that is the soft curvature of the case that wraps around your wrist. That is the very, very deeply depressed and detailed dial work that's been done. And the way that the strap integrates all the way up into the lugs meeting up to the case, not just a simple spring bar going across the middle, leaving a gap. So you've still got all of that. Now the new enhancements. It's bigger and bolder. It now has the center punched out with a special charcoal acrylic plate to let you see a skeletonized mechanical automatic movement. And that wonderful strap is now an interchangeable, and we give you 3 looks in the box: black, red, and a navy blue. How can you go wrong? And it's less. By the way, the watch on my wrist, lowest price ever, $150. And believe me, that was a really big discount.
Yes,
the one that Larry always wears, the black version, we did a one-time offer on that for $139, I think.
I think it was $131, and it was only a few weeks ago.
$130. So you are now paying less than any other Manchester Ozzie in the past and getting more. That's why this is exciting. That's why you need to be on the phone. That's why you cannot delay. Last hour, the phone lines were jacked up. People were having to wait. You've got to use Automate. You've got to use ShopNBC.com, and you cannot delay. There is the black, by the way, just switching not only the strap to the red. Look how different that watch looks now, man.
You know, and last hour we had a couple of lady callers that called in for the testimonials, and they had said that once we showed it on Margaret's wrist, that's what sold them, that they too could carry it off. And, you know, our Manchester Ozzie, the original, has always been very popular with the ladies. And the reason for that is because it wears like a bangle, Jim. And this one very much holds to that same formula. It does wear like a large bangle, very fashionable timepiece. This is a look, a very high-end look, believe it or not. You know, you see this and you say, gosh, all those colors, it almost looks like it's for a child. But some of the biggest executives, chairmen, wear that kind of a look with the multicolored numerals, Jim.
Well, it's been proven that a large percentage of the Fortune 500 CEOs actually do suck their thumb while they're falling asleep. So, hey, I'm kidding. There's no such survey. If there was, how funny would that be? All right. Daddy. All right, $99.81, broken up into 4 interest-free payments. Let's talk about how ValuePay works. We realize in this economy 2 very important things. Number 1, money ain't free. It's harder to come by. There's cutbacks everywhere. So we give you ValuePay to let you still purchase the watches that you want, to still add to your collections to the same degree that you always have. And we give you the value pay because it lessens the blow. We also realize this is not the time where you want to run out and start opening up a whole bunch of new lines of credit. So you don't have to. You can use any major credit card that you already have or your ShopNBC credit card and use the value payment option. You make the first payment with a one-time shipping and handling charge, and we ship it to you. You're wearing it while you're paying it off. You've also got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Speaking of guarantees, Larry, not only does ShopNBC back up the customer, but Stuhrling, you guys stand behind your watch.
Absolutely.
Tell us all about it.
Well, we give them what we call our 2-year international warranty. Our service center is in New York, Jim, and if anything should go wrong with the watch, you're going to send it to us in New York, and we'll stand behind it like we always do, Jim.
Now, I have met their watchmaker. I have stood in their building and their new vast building. And I know your watchmaker just got his new larger. Do you have a new one?
But we just started. You should see what's happening in the new. We just started construction on the whole new. Remember I showed you when you came out?
The big building, yeah.
Yeah, but I showed you where we were going to put that repair center. We just started the construction last week on the new repair center. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
So I can tell you for a fact, these guys know what they're doing. The turnaround time is very, very quick. Hey, listen. You know, it's great to buy maybe Swiss watches, but if something does go wrong and they ship it to Switzerland, what do they tell you? 6 to 8 weeks or 2 to 3 months or 3 to 4 months because they got to get this part and this guy can work on it over here and only on every other Thursday. Listen, that's all well and good. I'm not knocking it. It's just it sucks to have to wait for anything. And things can happen. Things can go wrong. And at Stuhrling, if it gets sent back for any reason, it goes to one guy and he knows all the product and he's sitting in the building in New York working all day long to turn these around quickly. Folks, 4 value pays of $24. You put your money out now. These watches, I'm not lying, will begin shipping tomorrow morning before you wake up, depending on where you live and how early you get up. But they will begin shipping tomorrow morning. I've seen that too. I've stood in Stuhrling's shipping area. I can't even tell you how incredibly fast these people do things. Last time I visited, we did a show on a Monday night or a Wednesday night, and I was there on like a Thursday morning. They had already completely boxed, quality control inspected, and had on a pallet for the big brown truck to back up into the building. Everything that I sold the night before was already addressed and labeled and ready to go. And I was there by 11 a.m. or something. It was already done. These guys ship fast. They want to get the product on your wrist. They want you to be happy. So order now, get that watch quickly, and begin that love affair with your new Stuhrling.
Listen, guys, you don't want to miss this. One thing I would say this, Jim. If you remember, I think the very first time that I turned you on to the Manchester Ozzie is a couple, 2-3 years ago, whenever it was, you came out to our facility and I said, Jim, try this on your wrist. You said, I went nuts. You said, no, but you said, I don't do square watches, Larry.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep.
I
really wasn't a fan of square.
Just try it on. And when you put the Manchester Ozzie on your wrist, you were sold. And that's what I want to make here. If somehow you could magically come through the camera here and you could step into this studio and say, all right, let me try it on, and you slipped it on your wrist, you would be sold immediately because the comfort of this case on the wrist, the way it stays on top of your wrist, the way that it sits with the curvature of the case, it is just so comfortable on the wrist. That's what will sell you. And, unfortunately, these beautiful camera shots that we're seeing here are second to none. The production values are fantastic. However, you just can't feel it on the wrist through the TV screen, Jim.
Yeah, you do need to try it on. A lot of people stay away from square watches the same reason I did.
You got to try it
I would do a tonneau because a tonneau is going to be curved and wrapped around your wrist. And I mean, I've always had square watches, one here, one there. It just wasn't something I wore very often. The Manchester Ozzie, and again, here's my personal watch on my wrist that I've had for nearly 4 years, I guess. Still one of my favorite watches, period. You're going to get, look how much bigger it is now. I mean, you've got a dominating look. Now, it is a sportier look. Granted, you could wear the Manchester Ozzie as a dress watch, a casual watch or a sport watch.
I love it.
The XL version, as I call it, really goes to be much more sporty. Plus the fact it's on rubber instead of on leather lends to that sportier appeal. But you know what? There are a lot of guys that do this look on a rubber strap with a suit. Looks all. Think of how many watches are out there right now that are tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars that are elegant watches on rubber. You can certainly pull that look off. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, Larry, I'm kind of digging that look with a suit.
Well, you know, listen, the regular Manchester Ozzie is fantastic with a suit. This one is just a little bit larger. But, you know, back when we first came out with the original Manchester at 41 by 41, that size seemed to work for those times.
We just turned into like a music televised station. What in the world was that?
That was one of those graphics that jumped in there. But
jumped in. It took over the entire show.
But
I'm
now
sorry,
with this case size now, I just think it brings it up to 2010, Jim.
It does. You've really modified it. Here's the scary part of you take a successful watch, of which this is one of the most successful that Stuhrling's ever made.
True.
And you go, okay, it's time to give it a facelift. It's you know, so it doesn't get stale. We got to freshen it up. You're always running the risk of ruining the magic of what captured the imaginations of the owners of the originals. So what Stuhrling did here is they took the best parts, the reasons why everybody says they buy a Manchester Ozzie, the incredible curvature, the step bezel design, the deeply, deeply, deeply detailed dial, and the fit of the strap into the case. They retained all of that. They did not mess with a winning formula, but then they enhanced it. They punched out the center of the dial. So now you can see the skeletonized movement underneath, which is a different caliber movement now. They made it bigger and bolder. And then they said, oh, the heck with it. We're going to make it interchangeable. We're going to let them see the different personalities that this watch can display without having to buy more than one watch, which is exactly what you had to do in the past. Look at that with the red. At an
all-time even lower price, too, Jim.
Because, you know, there are people like me. I was wrestling. Do I get the gray or do I get the orange and then the black? Do I get the black? Now you've got all these different looks in one watch. You don't have to make that choice. It's right there in the box. I'm sorry. I'm excited. I love this watch. Have loved it for years. And you just flat out made it better and a way better price. Now more people can afford it than ever before. And they're getting even more bang for their buck, which Stuhrling is known. I mean, you guys, you should have... trademarked the bang for the buck thing because you guys are all over that. The dial work alone, let's talk about that.
Sure.
The multiple stampings and depressions that go into the dial. We have not actually shared this story for a long time, and I think it's time that we should. Tell us how your dials are made.
Well, they're actually cut from brass, to tell you the truth, and they're done with vintage German machines. These machines are run with hydraulics, Jim. These machines are now probably about 35 years old or older than that, 35, 37, something like that. Those machines were moved to our factory, and it takes true artisans to actually operate those machines. It's like a turn and stamp process with hydraulics. And the yield loss ratio on these dials, Jim, is about 1 to 2. I mean, we literally have to throw away about 2 dials for every dial that makes it into a watch. I mean, when you get up into the micro, your tight macro shots that you do, Jim, and everything, you'll see literally there's almost there is no imperfections in these dials.
Yeah, they are flawless. I have never looked and went, I got to pitch that picture, because I'm one of the guys, I'm not a real big fan of Photoshop and stuff. Yeah, little minor adjustments here and there, to, sure, but I don't want to go cleaning up this and that. And if I'm shooting a watch close up, and there's imperfections on the dial, and I captured it and magnified it, I pitch the picture and I go on to the next and try to find a different angle. And I've never actually had that issue with a Stuhrling that I can recall anyway. They all look great. They're picture perfect. Everything's built in a clean room environment. And there are different levels of manufacturing. I want people to realize this, especially when you're looking at manufacturing in the Far East, and you've been in different facilities and seen near sweatshop type of facilities, and people that really, you look at them and go, ew, I wouldn't want them touching my watches, let alone anything else. Then you've got your facilities that are owned and operated, controlled by the George J. von Berg, the von Berg family, known as being Swiss legends. And what they're doing is a clean room environment. There's no dust. There's nothing. You walk through the puffers and all that to blow all the stuff off of it. You're wearing the bunny suits, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's all done with respect for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend. And George,
you'd think you guys were building $20,000 watches in there.
And you know, listen, George makes sure of that. And sometimes it's frustrating that we can't get the timepieces quick enough because they do take so much time. But that's all
the thing
about
is, their family does produce $20,000 watches. So that's how they do things.
That's true.
So they give you guys the same amount of care, the same amount of detail in the manufacturing process on Stuhrling.
Sure.
Great thing is, folks, you're just not paying the premium.
Absolutely.
If you go to ShopNBC.com, you will see a gallery of beautiful watches. But if you click on Air Now or click on Today, you can see everything in the show, even things I haven't told you about. Like, what's that? Yeah, with the cutaway bezel. Oh, pocket watch. Oh. And those are the things you could do in the privacy of your own home.
And we're going to be getting to that soon. But, you know, here on the Top Value, again, this is something that's been in the works for a long time to bring our Manchester Ozzie to ShopNBC with a Top Value presentation. And I'm just so happy that the way that this came out in the larger case size is something we wanted to do for a long time. Here you can see that it is, in fact, a mechanical automatic.
He's a monster.
Our ST90050 movement runs like a top, one of our more reliable 20-jewel mechanical automatic movements. You can even see the screws in the corners. It is, in fact, forget about the thumbprints, but you can see that even the case back is a curved case back, curved case, step design bezel, curved crystal.
No cheating here. Not a curved case and crystal with a flat case back.
Right.
No. Everything is curved, and that is much more expensive to make, by the way. You're getting all of that.
Yeah.
All of that in one package with the 3 straps, the polishing cloth, the warranty, all that. I'm telling you, it's a great day. It's a great day to be a watch lover. By the way, we're going to air this hour, B91506. The new Alpine Challenge, I'm calling it the extra long. Why? Because that steel mesh bracelet is extra long. Made for guys with 8-inch and above. I think this will fit like a 13-inch wrist or something. It's craziness, man, I'm telling you. And, oh my goodness, the Apocalypse trifecta with the interchangeable bezels. Woo!
The trifecta, Jim.
I like it. V91400.
Can't wait.
Oh, I have a sneeze coming on. I'm trying to fight it off.
That's going to be fun to get to that one.
$136, 5 value pays, $27.27. And the Spirit, which I like to call the Saturnalia Sport, because that's really what this watch is. By the way, good luck. I mean, good luck trying to get to that red or the blue, because they always go. Because what you're getting is very fancy ionic plating in the blue or in this deep, dark oxblood red that just, I will own that watch. It's called maroon. I will own that watch. It's just too cool for school. All right. Right now, speaking of cool, this watch is cooler than the other side of the pillow. When you put this watch on, you're going to be amazed. Now, you have a choice of orange or blue. Now, this is done in a very specific manufacturing process. I won't get into it just yet. I just want to set up the item V91452. It is the iconoclast. That's a really difficult word to just say all the time.
Iconoclast.
Is there an O in there? Thank you. You know what screwed me up? I've been saying that for a week because in your little thing where you sent me the photography, you dropped the O.
I did.
And I've been like, I have no idea what iconoclast means. And I'm like, that's a really hard word to say. Iconoclast, much easier. All right.
Sorry, Jim. I did that on purpose.
Now, this is based off of the Apocalypse series case in the big honkin' size. But now, watch this. Now, it's a 50-millimeter case, but I want you to see something here. Right there. Yeah. This is a multi-level very customized bezel. In the under part of the sandwich, you see that blue ionic plating, the blue IP. Then you see the black IP top, but that's been completely skeletonized so that the blue comes through. It's a sandwich bezel is what I'm going to call this. Now, the dial is also carbon fiber. You've got a steel mesh bracelet, but now pay attention here. You have a diver's buckle, okay? So you can do some micro sizing, you know, if your weight goes up or down a few pounds or summer to winter swelling. And then this is how you actually size it. They are removable links. Those of you that own the new Apocalypse Revelation Tourbillon, this is the same bracelet, same case. But wow, what a different spin. Larry has put on what I know is guaranteed his favorite. He loves black and orange.
Yeah, I do, and I love both of these, though. Now, we're calling the one that Jim is showing you now the blue. That has a yellow dial. So if you like the yellow dial, of course, you're going to order it as blue. And Jim just reset the Ronda StarTech 5030D chronograph movements.
You guys like the 5030D a lot. A lot of companies will go to the 5040.
We use a lot of both.
And I know, but why do you guys prefer the 5030 so much? Is there a particular reason?
Well, it's not that we prefer it over, say, the 5040, but we prefer the Swiss Rondas over anything else. I mean, we use a lot of Citizens, as you know. We use a lot of Ices, Swiss Ices, as you know. We use a lot of both of them. We even have a couple of watches with the SI movements as well. But to us, our favorites, without a doubt, are the Swiss Rondas. And that's what you have here, the Swiss Ronda 5030D.
I really want to say that the blue is my favorite because I'm a blue jeans guy and I go for a lot of blue. I am 1,000% right over here, the black and orange. Look how that jumps off the wrist. You've got to own this. $249.50. Wow.
This is really one of the hottest new designs that we've had come along now in quite a while here. 2009 certainly had its superstar models. I think this is going to be probably one of the hottest for 2010, if not the hottest here. We'll be doing more with this case. Now,
oh my goodness.
This is a 49 to 50 millimeter case design of our Apocalypse case, but for the first time ever in the series, Jim, what we've done is we've modified the bezel. Same case design, but instead of that, decagonal case, decagonal bezel, the 10-sided bezel, we rounded it off this time. So it's the same case, and that's why we call it the Iconoclast, Jim, because it's a rebel, okay? An iconoclast is a rebel, Jim. And so what we did is we have a rebellious bezel going on here. If you see it, it's not the 10-sided bezel. You see that, Jim?
Everything about this watch is different. It reminds you of that amazing series, but it's so different. And I love the fact that you use two different materials. Now let's talk about the ionic finishing, because it's not really ionic finishing. This is a very specific new process.
This is our Duracoche.
That's right. Duracoche.
Duracoche or Duracoche. I'm not exactly sure. Duracoche.
And actually, it's almost like a soft gel is the way it feels. It's smooth like an enamel, but it's bonded into the steel like ionic plating.
Remember at the beginning of the year here in 2010 when we first came out with the first Duracoche that we've done was with that original Alpine Challenge. And I told you we were going to be having more of it to come in 2010. I knew this was in the works at that time. And here we go here on the pushers, the crown, and as you pointed out on the outer edge of the bezel here, Jim. But it's got that really nice, I believe it's about 4 to 4.5 millimeter thick interwoven link mesh bracelet here, which is just so comfortable. But the chronograph, the 49 millimeter case design, most popular case of our Apocalypse, but the stencil, markers in the bezel are just so unique, Jim.
Just amazing for this price. 3 value pays of $83.17. When you buy a watch, you're buying into detail. You don't want a watch that everybody else is wearing. When you wear it out and then you see somebody else wearing it, my heart would sink. I have never in my life ever gone out wearing a watch and seen anybody else ever wearing the same thing. Not even the same model, let alone the colors. And Stuhrling?
You like to have the only one in the United States, Jim, if I know you.
If it's possible, yes. You're absolutely right. By the way, be one of the very few to own a special spotlight coming up. Just arrived after being sold out. 14 karat gold, large oval Oro Eleganza earrings in green gold, white gold, rose gold, yellow gold, or chocolate gold. That's right, I said green and chocolate gold. I went there. And you get to go there too at 1 p.m. Eastern with Gold Style. Right now, I want to tell you about some other exciting shows we have coming up. We're halfway through our Stuhrling Marathon. One more hour coming up next. Then Sean Wilsey's going to come out here and rock your collectible world with Coin Shop. And then at 5 a.m. Eastern, Gold Style, which I believe will be Christine Quanley, if I'm not mistaken. It's a distinct possibility. All right.
Here we go.
Now, I've been calling this watch XL for extra long. Why? Because this strap, for some of you, might double as a belt. It is long. Here's the deal, V91506. It is the Alpine Challenge in its original 44 millimeter case. A lot of you bought into the last version that was made. Some of you said, well, the bracelet is not long enough and there's no way to do anything about that. So what Stuhrling did was make a limited run, not a full production run, but a limited run. And this, I have to drop this for a second, guys, I apologize. A limited run in an extra long. Now, I now, after losing a little bit of weight, have gotten down to a 7 3/4 inch wrist. I'm on the next to the last hole, okay? That means I have all of this left to go. I would even guess up to a 13-inch wrist could fit into this. So if you know a big fella or a big lady that has the need for a larger strap or a larger bracelet, by all means, this is the one you want to buy for them. It's a monster. Now, Larry, tell us about the rest of the watch in case somebody out there in the world has never seen an Alpine before.
Sure. Well, Jim, this is our famous Alpine, and it's the Challenge, the new version with the integrated end links here that go to the mesh bracelet. But our Alpine is our #1 all-time selling skeleton mechanical automatic from our Lifestyles collection. It's known for all the signature, this domed crystal, the cigar-style hands, the propeller-style faceplate that you're going to see here with the 12, 4, and 8, the scalloped edges on this tonneau-shaped case here. It's a skeleton mechanical automatic. It's got that big bulbous style crown over there with that rubber ring, that O-ring that goes around the center of it to make it just a little bit easier for grasping. So all the signature characteristics of our Alpine are certainly present here. This is that new rotor design that we debuted, on the Alpine Challenge. But here's the thing about this one, Jim, and why it says new today is because when we brought the Alpine Challenge out after the turn of the year here, we had those kind of wild colors. We had that bright green and that bright orange, and and they were fabulous. But there were definitely some people that said, do you have it in the traditional colors? I don't wear these loud colors. Well, here it is, Jim, in the more straightforward watch colors that you see here. Now, what are we calling these colors, Jim?
I have no idea. I'm going to say rose tone, gold tone, and black, because we're probably going by bezel color, aren't we? Watch, I bet I'm wrong.
All right, let's see how they name them.
My producer's going to tell me in a moment.
And by the way, while they're putting...
Okay, rose tone black, silver tone black, and silver tone gold tone. Okay, so bracelet then bezel. I'm telling you right now, you want the hotness, you get the rose tone black. Wow.
Yeah, listen, they're all really, really hot. And by the way, you were talking about the size of the bracelet. You were showing it on a 7 3/4 wrist. I wear an 8. I think it would be good if I show what it looks like on an 8-inch wrist, Jim.
There you go.
Which one?
You can put the rose on. How about that?
I'll put the rose tone. Here we go.
It'll match your rosy cheeks.
Okay. And let's...
For value pays of $24, we'll put this on your wrist less than $1 a day. And yep, you're going to own what may be your first Stuhrling. And by the way, what cooler way to get into it, your first Stuhrling? The Alpine is a classic among their lines. Very, very popular seller. I couldn't even venture a guess as to how many tens of thousands you've sold of the Alpine over the years, but it's got to be a tremendous amount. And there is Margaret. She is wearing the silver tone black. There's no way in the world that will buckle down to her tiny little wrist. I guarantee you she could actually put both arms together and then be able to buckle it. It is the extra long bracelet. You do need to have a big wrist or wrap a pillow around your arm before putting the watch on. It is a long strap. The smallest wrist it will fit is about 7.5 inches. That is the bare minimum, absolute smallest it will fit. And I'm saying this so very, very clearly because when I even say stuff this absolutely clearly, I will get an email or I will see messages on the forums going, Jim never said that it was this big. The absolute bare minimum would be a 7.5-inch wrist because there are no more holes in the mesh for the Tang-style buckle. Please have a big wrist.
And here it is on an 8-inch wrist, Jim.
There you go. It's quite a handsome fit. We'll show them the backside so they see how much room is left on the bracelet.
Yeah, okay. Let me...
He has to kind of just undo the thing from the
here
keepers. So you still got plenty of room there.
Yeah.
That's after being buckled and wrapping around the wrist.
Right. So, you know, you're right, Jim.
There's a lot of tongue flap in there.
There would be absolutely no problem taking this all the way up to easily a 9-inch wrist without any problem.
Beyond that, way over a 10-inch wrist. That thing is just huge. Now, here's the other cool thing, and I wanted to save this to be the last thing I told you. Now, watch what I'm about to do here. We're going to give you a close-up. I will be moving the watch, but we're going to stay close, okay? Now, you have 2 steel keepers. Move that keeper, move that keeper. You undo the buckle, because it is a standard-style buckle. Now, watch what I do here. For those of you that are just, you think the colors are irresistible, and you really want to own it, and your wrist isn't that large. What did I just do there, Larry?
Well, it does have a quick change pin on there. So, Jim, what he did is he used his fingernail there, and he just undid the end link and took the bracelet off.
So you could put any strap that you want on this watch, whether it's a strap you own, or you call up Larry or his friendly customer service and say, I would like to purchase. Notice I said purchase. I would like to pay my good hard-earned money for some straps that you may have for the Alpine. Pretty sure they have some laying around. They'll be happy to sell to you. So if you have a smaller wrist, but you're looking at that rose tone black going, I gotta have it, and there's no other way to buy it. Buy this, buy the additional strap, or you know what, I don't know this, maybe they have the shorter steel mesh bracelet. I don't know, I'm not promising, but you can call and ask. Well, you know, they wouldn't have it in rose anyway because you didn't make a rose in that, so forget that. The silver tones you'd be okay on. That you could do if they have them in stock. And that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, just a great value there, Jim. Mechanical automatic under $100 in our Alpine with the mesh bracelet.
Now, we also have other spotlights to talk about, folks. It's not all just watches here at ShopNBC, no matter what it says on our Facebook page. We have at 8 p.m. tonight the 14-karat gold polished ribbon hoops at 1 inch for $116 or 1.5 inches for $149. Choice of white gold, yellow gold, or look at the twisty-turny there with the tricolor white, yellow, and third color gold. Rose, well, third color gold. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you. Folks, these never last. Every time we bring out a pocket watch by any brand, they just disappear. I don't really think guys are wearing pocket watches. I just think that you guys are enhancing beautiful, elegant watch displays with them. I want to clarify a very important point when we come out here. The stand that you're going to see, we are using to hold the watch up for you.
Yeah.
This is not available right now. It is not coming with your pocket watch. It is a Stuhrling pocket watch stand, but we do not have any quantity of them. So that is not coming with your purchase, just the watch. Now, Larry, you guys have had an astounding response to your pocket watches.
Really
and this might be a good reason why, here.
This one, to me, is of the series of 5, if I could only buy one.
I was trying to make that dramatic. I apologize.
This is from our Montre de Poche series, and we started the series right around September, I think, or October of 2009. And we came out with 5 different models, and we've been releasing them one at a time, and this might be the 5th one. But this one here is our Montre de Poche Limoges. And to me, this would be the one that I personally would take myself. And you know why, Jim? The movement in this piece is the exact same movement as in our Brumalia and our Chernobog. Remember I always said as a pocket...
Everybody goes nuts.
Yeah, remember I said that in those watches, that's a pocket watch movement? Well, here is that movement now. It is the same movement, in a pocket watch, our Limoges. And of course, if you know anything about the city of Limoges in France, you know they're known for their porcelain making and their artisans and what they do.
I would display it that way. The dial looks great and all, but wow.
Yeah, there's that oversized balance wheel and everything else. So this is just a sensational pocket watch here. It's just gorgeous. The price is certainly more than correct here. This is fantastic. And that dial has the look of porcelain. Now, it's not porcelain.
It's not porcelain.
It's not porcelain, but you know, Limoges.
Because this ain't 10 grand.
Yeah, but you know, Limoges is known for their porcelain. So this is our Montre de Poche Limoges, and just elegant, as Jim was pointing out, and my favorite in the group of 5 for sure.
This is just absolute old world elegance. Beautiful, classic. It's only $143, and you got to realize for a mechanical movement, again, it has to be hand wound. It is a true mechanical movement. You're buying into such an astounding value. This is beautiful. It really is.
And as Jim points out, it is pure mechanical. You have to wind it like with the other 2 wristwatches we have. They're not autos, and of course that's for the wrist. For a pocket watch, you would expect a mechanical.
Now this is going to be about a 44-hour power reserve on this movement. Now I'm going to try and hold it still, but I'm going to wind it for you, and I want you to watch the barrel. The barrel is right here, and that's what holds the mainspring. And I'm actually going to be winding that up, and you'll see what makes a mechanical watch so special. And you'll notice that's coiling tighter and tighter. And that is the storage, that is your power storage, basically, what runs your movement. You'll notice it's the click that prevents the wheel from unwinding as I release the tension. Now look how much tighter that's gotten.
Yeah, it's almost solid. You see that? It's like a solid wall.
Now, it's stopped. That's it. Do not keep turning. I don't care if you spent $1 million on your mechanical. You'll bust the mainspring if you keep turning once it has stopped.
Right.
Look at that. The beauty, the elegance, the refinement, the decoration that's been done on here for only $143.
Yeah.
This should really be, in my opinion, $300-400 as it sits.
Slightly domed crystal. There it is.
Actually, I want to make a correction. It's not even domed. It's a double curved crystal. The bottom side surface is the same radius as the top side, meaning it will be perfectly optically pure. It will not exaggerate or magnify at angles. That is extraordinarily expensive to do.
Right. What Jim means is that the underside is not flat.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Very nice.
So if you want to, and by the way, I want to bring this up to my microphone. I want you to hear, I'm sure it'll pick up the ticking. That's what I love about mechanicals.
Yeah.
Listen.
I hear it.
That is such a beautiful sound. I love the tick, tick, tick of a beautiful mechanical movement.
I think
and again, because it's an elegant watch, it's not a diver watch, so the case is thinner and the crystals are thinner, and that's what's allowing the sound to escape a little bit more. It was funny, I actually had that question today.
It's got a nice 14-inch chain with the little belt clip on the end as well, Jim.
In case you want to practice hypnotism in the privacy of your own home, you're able to do that because you have a chain. Actually, it's how you would attach it when it's sitting in your vest pocket. But if you want to hypnotize people, you're more than welcome to. Just don't use it for evil reasons. V91509. All right, we got to move on.
You're getting sleepy. Okay.
I actually am getting sleepy.
Okay.
So is my producer. He's been nodding off throughout the whole show. No, I'm kidding. All right, V91400. Larry, this watch was a screamer when we initially debuted it. Not, I would say about a month ago or a little bit less, maybe?
4 or 5 weeks ago.
This is the Apocalypse that we all know and love. It's a huge, huge series of watches for Stuhrling.
Yep.
But this is the trifecta. Now, we'll get to trifecta in a second, why it's called trifecta.
Sure.
It's $136, and it's a 5 value pay option. Five. That's even better than the first time we brought it out. Gee, I wonder why.
It is.
$27.27. Here's why this watch is called the trifecta.
Yeah.
And here's why I personally love this watch. Watch what I'm about to do here. You're going to be truly amazed. It's a 2-step process. You push down and then you turn, okay? Now, what I've got here, I'm going to undo this strap here. What you've got here is a silver tone case, silver tone dial, the really nice blue Duracoche bezel. Now, you're going to order, as funny as this is going to sound in a minute, because you're going to go, why would I do that? Okay, you're ordering by bezel color, even though the bezels can be changed. Now, I push down, and I turn 1/4 turn. I give it a little tap, just because it's easier that way. Come on, little jiggle. Now, that bezel has come off.
Yeah.
Whatever shall I do? I'm going to go for my favorite. Now, you'll see there are 2 notches built into that bezel because there are 2 notches built into the case.
Look at that crystal, Jim.
I drop that in there, and I lock it back in. Now it's in there solid. Now I've gone to a carbon fiber look. Ooh, very sporty. Heading down to the racetrack that day, are you? Now, I take it, I push down, I turn it a 1/4 turn, I lift it out. Now I have a 3rd. Now we know why it's called the trifecta. A satin finish or brush finish.
Brush finish.
Stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decide, well, I'm not even going to get into all that. If you want to change out straps and whatnot, you can do that. You don't get additional straps. There are some for sale that you can do that with. There's a whole bunch of different looks you can do. We're going to show that to you. Here's the green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought this was the demonstration of the colors. I apologize. This is just pointing at things on the dial. Obviously, you have a date. Obviously, it's a chronograph. But it also has the ISA movement, which gives you the day of the week as well.
Day chronograph, the Swiss ISA 8173, I believe, or 72. Either way, it's a Swiss ISA chronograph movement. And Jim, this is in the new case size for our Apocalypse series, the 45 millimeter case. The original Apocalypse was in the 42. Mm-hmm. So it's a perfect size. It really hits the sweet spot. And all 3 color choices are fantastic. I guess we're going by, just green, red, and blue by the green, red, and blue by the original bezel color. If you like the black PVD case, you'll order the red. And I think that red and black was the leading seller of the bunch.
And it was still my favorite.
And here
now
we
look
have
at that. By the way, your bezels will not fly by themselves.
That was a nice animation there.
This is still my favorite, the red. Now, this is the only black IP case. The rest are silver tone. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm even going to do this while it's on my wrist. I am going to strap it down to a full tightness here. Now, watch what happens. I'm on my way out the door. I'm like, I'm feeling pretty sporty. I got my red bezel. I'm looking hot as fire. My wife goes, Dodo, you're wearing a blue shirt. Red doesn't go with that. So I take it, I turn it, and I give it a little jiggle.
Jim likes to change it while it's right on his wrist.
Now I take, for my silver tone bezel, which, by the way, will have black Stuhrling-esque screws. Mm-hmm. And she goes, you know what? That does look really, really nice, but I thought you said you wanted to go sporty. Then I argue back, you wouldn't let me go sporty. She goes, but there's a medium ground. You can go sportier than that without going red, numbskull. So then she says, put your carbon fiber dial on. And I go, wow, I love you. Now I realize why I married you. Look at that look. The new look I just put on there in the carbon fiber. Look how gorgeous that is.
Yeah.
Because now you've almost completely changed the watch. Now watch this. Now you see how that looks, right? You go, bam, right there, carbon fiber, high-tech, high-end look. I want you to see the personality change. We're going to hold that shot. I'm just going to swap it out and put the red back on because it is such an incredibly different look. That's why this watch is so special.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. It's a great case design, our finest. And, with the interchangeable bezels, we're very, very proud of that, Jim.
You couldn't have done it any better.
And a Swiss chronograph to boot.
It's one thing to swap out straps. That's a great option to have, but a lot of us are used to that. I want to change out my bezel. And I have one watch in my personal collection that has interchangeable bezel technology. You know what that retails for? Yeah, $5,000. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Our Olympian.
I'll even mention it because we've sold it here on the air. It's the Aquanautic Super King Cuda. I mean, wow, to be able to get that kind of changeability and not spend, $2, $3, $4, $5 I like that. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Larry.
Oh,
you give us a good alternative.
Hey, we love the trifecta.
Like to remind you that we are dwindling down on the final quantities of the limited edition of 250 made of the El Capo automatic in the all triple black for $277. I love that watch. It's pretty. Now, here's one. If I've aired it, I've only aired it once. This is a rare little gem right here.
This is Sterling all the way.
Silver tone, rose tone, or black are the colors that you choose. We'll call that bezel color. Silver tone, though, fewer than a dozen. It's going to go quickly. This is the Atlas V90781. It's $195, and you've got a $38 value paid. That's right. $39. So essentially, just a touch over $1 a day to bring that look home. Now, you're not seeing just yet all of the beauty of this watch.
No.
I'm going to sit here and point.
Okay.
And Larry's going to tell you about all the great things. I'm just going to let him lead this.
Sure.
44 millimeter case. This is a tremendous deal.
What size case did you say?
44.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I thought I heard 34, and I'm
No.
going, wait, what did you say?
I
Anyway.
wouldn't put a 34 on my wrist.
Okay, well.
I would go straight to Margaret and I'd call it a lady's watch.
Anyway, I heard wrong. No, but this is fantastic. It's our Atlas, Jim. And if you want to start over there, Jim, to me, this is the starting point up here. You want to go down here? Well, Jim is talking here now about the individually applied hour markers. Those are all individually applied to the dial. I'm going to follow Jim's pointer here rather than try to tell him where I want to start. Over here, the carbon fiber dial. Okay.
See, now to me,
I love
that's
working with
huge.
Jim. You know why I love working with Jim?
You never know what's going to happen.
Well, no, because I get a homework assignment. But anyway, here we go. He gives out homework assignments, but here we go. All right, so you have a carbon fiber dial, individually applied numerals, and now where do you want me to go, Jim?
I'm going where you go.
Okay, well, to me, I'm going to start right off with what makes this such a tremendous value. You have a power reserve indicator on the dial here, and I love the way that we've done the pointer on that. So it's a 40-hour power reserve. When you wind it up, you see the little red needle point.
Wait, are you telling me that this is a
yes.
mechanical automatic?
Yes, mechanical automatic power reserve indicator on the dial. And you'll notice how it has kind of that L-shaped pointer. Very clever, very unique on the pointer here. It's pointing to roughly, I'd say about 20 hours, 18 hours, showing that's remaining on the mainspring here. If Jim were to wind it, you'd see that needle go crank right up. But then you've also got a date, and down at the bottom you have your small seconds, Jim, and time is up.
And we didn't have
Don't miss this
nearly
one, Jim.
enough time.
Yeah, don't miss this, guys. This is special.
The acrylic subdials allow you to see into the movement. A sneeze that's coming on that's going to deafen the world. 5 value pays of $39. By the way, I'd be all over that rose if I were you. The rose is, in my personal opinion, the hottest look. Oh, it's a very deep texture in there that simulates the look of carbon fiber, but it's actually a very fine, beautiful, almost a filigree kind of look in there. By the way, hello, today's top value, B91500. Larry, this is a hot deal.
Yeah, this is really great here. Mechanical automatic, great value that you can see, but it's in our most famous design, our Manchester Ozzie curved case, Jim.
Right now, it's like I'm strapping on a tire. This is sporty.
Our Olympian, Jim.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like heading out to the racetrack. Looks like I brought the right car tonight. V90984, the Olympian. Man. Now, the first thing I want to point out is the thing that is not the most evident. When you look at this sporty watch, there's a lot going on and a lot to love. But you've got acrylic subdials. That's right, acrylic subdials. Now, you're not thinking that you do because you're like, well, everything is so clearly defined. I can read all the numerical readouts and hash markings so brilliantly clear. Yeah, but now look, underneath that, you see the movement, don't you? Yeah. And Larry, what movement might this be, sir?
Ronda StarTech 5030D, fellas. And, you know, if we would have put, let's say, for example, a Citizen OS 20 in this, it might be $30 cheaper than you see right here, lower price or whatever. But this is really a top-of-the-line movement, Jim. You know, the Ronda 5030s, 5040s, 5050s, the StarTech series are phenomenal. And here, they're all metal parts. This one has 6 jewels, Jim, as you know. It's completely repairable. It's got add and split functionality. Not all chronographs have that. So you're getting really a world-class Swiss quartz chronograph movement in this timepiece, and the design elements are just fantastic. And this is from our Sportsman's collection. It's actually our Challenger series in our Sportsman's collection, Jim.
I'm loving this look. Look at the enamel fill. All the engravings for the tachymeter style bezel, and what that means is if you want to measure land speed, you can do so on a fixed level of 1 mile. At the start point, you start your chronograph, and once enough time has elapsed, you can, I'll go ahead and do this just for the sake of fun, and we'll let that run. If the vehicle I was tracking were to cross that finish line right now, I stop it, and it displays it was going 240 miles an hour, which, by the way, is only about 20 miles an hour faster than my producer Tom has gone on a motorcycle. And right here in Eden Prairie, too, the cops love them. And then you've got, again, the acrylic subdials here built in. Look at the hour markers and the numerals. Notice how tall they are. They stand up off the dial. They're hand applied, individually hand applied. Wow. The calendar set down here with its own red enamel highlighting it, and they all have the red, right? Yeah, whether it be the rose tone, gold tone, or silver tone. This is, again, way too much to talk about for the little amount of time that we have. Loving this watch. You really, Larry, you've brought out some of the coolest watches. By the way, screw down crown on this. Some of the coolest watches I've seen in a while, all in one night. I don't know how we fit all this into 3 hours. Now, the gunmetal blue, there are fewer than a dozen. You've got to order it right now if you want the gunmetal blue. That's the gunmetal on the back and the left with the deep ionic blue plating. And my favorite, as I had mentioned many times earlier, is the black with the red. And that's really where I'm going to head for this.
And I like this one, Jim.
And you like the silver tone blue. There's not a bad choice among these. Now, the 91401, the Spirit Automatic is, as I have mentioned before, essentially a sportified version of the Saturnalia. What do I mean by that? If you know the Saturnalia and you know the double retrograde complication that it possesses, this is the same movement, the same dial layout. And yeah, now you're seeing the black and red and going, man, I got to get on the phone. Yeah, you do. I don't have very many. And this one always goes bust. Oh, yeah, you know you want that. The 91401.
Maroon's a good call. Oxblood's another good call. But, all right, if I go ahead and try this one on, Jim?
Yeah, grab the silver tone blue while it's there. And I'm going to show you very quickly.
We call this the Spirit Pro, by the way, because this is the one on the bracelet. The original, the Spirit is on the leather. This is the Pro version.
Here's the blue, because I want you to see it against the blue shirt here. Gunmetal blue will go first. There are 8.
Okay.
Now, the colors that we're talking about, you will see reflected in only the side of the bezel, not the top. That will be the regular finish of the watch. The side of the bezel, as well as all of the markers on the dial and the double retrograde swedges. Now, the deeply textured, detailed dial, the double retrogrades, all of this, by the way, fueled by a mechanical automatic movement.
Right. It's a 33 jewel mechanical automatic. It's got dual retrogrades, Jim. Retrograde day of the week, retrograde date. As you can see by those arcs over there.
There's your retrograde date.
Right.
Retrograde date. Now what that means is it's not going in a circle. I want to wind this watch. I apologize for it not running, because the other half of the reason you want to buy this watch is right there. The exposed balance wheel, but in front of the exposed balance wheel is a rotating decoration, we're going to call it. It simulates the effect of a tourbillon. It's not a tourbillon, but it has the rotating cage, much like a tourbillon. And there's your retrogrades. Unbelievable.
Right. It's got what I call a bow tie bridge, Jim. And as you pointed out so correctly, it's like a sportified version of our Saturnalia.
Oh, wow. None of these are running. Hold on a second. I apologize. And no. Here we go. Because I really want you to see this angle and see how the colors just pop. They all do this, by the way. Actually, as a matter of fact, we should have some high-resolution images that I had photographed in a controlled lighting environment.
On the Pro or the regular one?
On this one. It should have been in the gunmetal blue.
Oh, okay.
We're
Yeah,
searching
I
for
seem to
those.
remember that, yeah.
And you're going to see how the colors just pop and blow you away.
But I still love this blue one, Jim. Check this out.
I guess we don't have enough time to bring them up, so we're going to keep going. Larry's wearing the silver tone blue. I want you to see that. There's also a silver tone black, a more toned down variation, if you will. There's a lot to love, a lot going on here, folks. Again, automatic movement. Case size on this?
46, and this is from our Apocalypse series.
There's the blue popping out again.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now that's the, in my opinion, more elegant look. The gunmetal is a more sporty look.
I'll go with that, Jim. Yeah, this one's my favorite right here. And as you pointed out, Jim, the silver tone with the black is more of a probably versatile. We'll go with everything. But our Spirit Pro from the Apocalypse series, it's got that Apocalypse case design, solid 316L steel, nice stainless steel link bracelet as well. We've got the Stuhrling Signature S screw heads going all the way around that 10-sided bezel. And by the way, the day and dates are set with the recessed pushers. They will get the setting tool as well.
So you'll receive this Stuhrling tool to hit those hidden pushers to change the date,
Right.
or to change the day of the week so that you can set those appropriately. Oh, wow. I'm so happy for all of you that are getting this opportunity. Gunmetal blue officially sold out. The black and burgundy is the next to go, followed by the silver tone blue. And then we still have plenty of the silver tone black. Oh my goodness. The end of another hour. Only one more hour remains. I can't believe it. That's right, 2/3 of our night is finished here, folks. I want you to come back. We're going to deeply explore today's top value.
What's your gold style? Is it classic? Is it romantic? Or is it trendy? Whatever yours may be, find your gold style during the 8th anniversary celebration, right here on ShopNBC.
An encore is kind of a repeat performance, but this time it's going to be a whole lot better. We were always known for luxury fabrications. Interesting, in 2.5 years, fashion has changed. So we are bringing luxury fibers to ShopNBC that women have never, ever seen before. We're giving you the basics, we're giving you what you used to like, but we're giving you a whole lot of new. Join me for Encore right here on ShopNBC.
It's happening, and it won't last long. ShopNBC is excited to announce that now until May 1st, all watches on air and online are available with 3 or more value pay. That's right. It's time to take home your favorite brands and discover new ones from our extended assortment online. Tune in all month long and discover the world of watches that ShopNBC has to offer. It's smart, it's sensible, it's add and save shipping. The premium way to shop NBC with confidence. Now, when ordering multiple items, pay only one full shipping rate with your order. The rest of your items ship at 50% off regular shipping and handling. That's right, fill up your shopping cart with anything that Shop NBC has to offer and save big time on shipping. You spend time shopping and we'll take care of the rest. Be good to yourself. It's the premium way we exceed all your expectations. It's Shop NBC with confidence.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's top value, the best value of the day in watches with Stuhrling Original, happens to be the new Manchester Ozzie, larger size, interchangeable rubber straps, and for the first time ever also into a skeletonized automatic, and you get a chance to see that beautiful movement without sacrificing the beauty of the dial that's become so famous. Today's top value price of $99.81 gives you 4 value pays of $24.95, and only one man can bring this out to you. He is the man to my right, your left, Mr. Larry Magen, who is the president of North American Operations for Stuhrling Original. How are you, bud? Welcome back.
Hey, Coach. We're having a ball here tonight, and to me, this is a historic night for us, Jim. Our Manchester Ozzie has finally made it to today's top value. We've been working on this for a long time, and we're so proud of the piece, the way it came out. We put a lot of effort into it. All the main features are here, and we've done it with a Skelton mechanical automatic, Jim.
Look at this beautiful shot right here. There is the black choice. You can choose also silver tone, which would be silver tone case, silver tone dial. But looking into this, you're thinking to yourself, well, you know, off the top of my head, well, what's the difference between this and the original? Well, I'm actually going to take mine off this time because I've just been showing it to you on the wrist. I want you to see for yourself, side by side, the actual differences. I'm going to take the silver tone here. So I am going to lay them on their sides because that's the best way to represent the size difference.
It's a good call.
You can literally fit my personal watch into today's top value. This is an overall size of 47 millimeters. This is an overall size of 53 millimeters. Now, the elements that have remained the same, that great curvature that we've all come to know and love that makes this so easy to wear. The stepped bezel design is still there. And you're thinking to yourself, they had to sacrifice something by punching a hole in the dial. No, you still got that same great texturization in the dial, but now you're seeing the benefits of a skeletonized automatic movement popping out of there. So it's a bigger watch. It's just as detailed. It's got more going for it. Now you're seeing the movement and the comfort of the straps that do not stop where the spring bar is.
Exactly.
They go up into the case like the original, but yet they're interchangeable. Larry, I know this took a lot of engineering.
Yes.
It took a lot of time, actually more than 3 different sets of prototypes to perfect this look, as you were telling me.
No, it's absolutely true, Jim. You're absolutely right. You know, to make just the molds on these straps was very, very difficult in order to do this custom molded strap where it's got the case integration, as you point out, with the pre-curvature where it slopes right off the lugs. But you know, that's getting kind of technical. Basically, what it all means is that when you put it on your wrist, it just wraps the wrist. It wears so comfortably on the wrist. This is really a fun watch to wear. My Manchester Ozzie that I've been wearing for a long time, I mean, I've got 3 or 4 of them in different colors. I wore the black one into the studio earlier tonight, but they're really go-to pieces. I mean, you can wear them anywhere. When in doubt, I grab one of my Aussies. But, you know, in the office, Jim, we have a nickname for this piece. It's not the official name, or the official name, Manchester Ozzie Skeleton, as we've got it here. But we have a nickname for this piece, Jim.
I've got to hear it.
The Wizard.
The Wizard.
It's the Wizard.
Well, that was overall for all the Manchester Aussies, not just this one.
No, this one. This is the big one. This is the Wizard.
Okay.
This is
it was over the rainbow or something
right,
for
this
the
is the
other
Wizard
ones.
of Ozzie. So you see what I'm saying, Jim? No, because this is the big one. But it's true, and you don't want to miss this. You know, oftentimes I you know, joke around and I'll say, listen to the right voices, you make the right choices, but I do mean that, and that's basically what I'm saying is, you know, I kind of know
Larry, I don't know if you've learned, but no joking around here. Humor is frowned upon.
Well, listen.
Unless it comes out of my mouth.
Well, seriously then, I'm here to tell you, you know, what's going on, and I like to tell you, you know, which is some of our finest and which is some of our best, and really this offering here with today's top value, it kind of defies logic because, you know, when we do a top value, Jim, it's all about, we'd like to bring new customers to Stuhrling Original. If anybody out there has never bought a Stuhrling Original and you're watching the show right now,
not hearing things at all.
You're actually buying into one of our finest timepieces, one of our finest models with the Manchester Ozzie, and we've done it now here for a top value to make it affordable for everybody. And this will be running all throughout the day or until quantities last. So it's a great opportunity, and ladies can wear this one as well, Jim. It wears like a fashion timepiece for the ladies. It's big, it's bold, but there's no battery in this watch. So it's done with a mechanical automatic where you can share your appreciation for watchmaking, Jim, and show your love of watchmaking, and it makes it into a conversation piece as well.
That's right. V91500 for value pays of $24.95. Today's top value price of only $99.81 puts this on your wrist. Again, I'd like to mention the size of the strap as far as whom will be able to wear it. You're going to go down to about a 7.5, maybe a 7-inch wrist as the smallest. The largest is going to go up to about a 9-inch wrist. There's not a huge area in here. It's right in the middle. When you look in retail, I don't care where you're shopping, I don't care where you're going. When you look in retail for a mechanical automatic at any price point, you're looking for a certain level of quality. And if you're spending $99, if you even find an automatic, which in a retail store you most likely won't, but online you're going to find some here and there, there's a certain level of quality that you know you associate with $99.
Right.
You know, it's only going to last so long, and you know, the crown's falling out and things like that. Listen, Stuhrling has been there through thick and thin for you guys. Great warranty service, and everybody stumbles. You go back 3, 4, 5 years, even Stuhrling, as they were learning through the ranks of the different automatic movements, there were issues. They identified the issues. They went back to their factories and said, here are things that we require, that we need for our customers. And with working with the Von Berg family, George J. Von Berg, many of you know the name, high-end Swiss watchmaking, they're the people that are overseeing the production facilities. And they have refined the entire process of how they manufacture these movements. And even when you guys are reaching out, like for your tourbillons, you know, for many people, it's a recognizable brand of tourbillon, but you guys aren't just taking it from them. Everything is further refined through your processes that are involved in manufacturing. So you are buying into the best you can get for the amount of money that you're spending and more. Right now, we've sold nearly 500 of these, and they're going to continue going until they're gone. For value pays of $24.95. By the way, we don't have a lot of these. That's why this is kind of a big deal. You know, there can be today's top value where we have as many as 20,000 watches.
Right. No, we don't.
Right now, kind of is the average is around 10,000 watches. You didn't bring in anywhere near that quantity.
No.
So, folks, when they go, and they're going to be gone.
And, you know, one of the things that, again, I said it in the last presentation, in order to really appreciate the timepiece, you almost have to try it on your wrist to feel the comfort level, but also not only the comfort level as it wraps your wrist with the curvature of the case and the pre-curvature of the strap, but also the heft and the weight of the timepiece. And of course it's not on a bracelet, but even with the rubber strap.
It's hefty.
It's very hefty, it's very significant, and that's going to blow you away when you get it home and you pull it out of the box and you think, gosh, I can't believe the price that I paid to get this kind of a piece. And I bring that up because I'm trying, and I know all the Stuhrling Nation out there, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to make that point to people who maybe never purchased a Stuhrling before. You will be blown away by the quality. We're all about respect, Jim, and respect for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend, and we mean that, and that goes to every aspect of every facet of the timepiece. The cases are all blank from solid bars of steel. The dial work, we talked a little bit about that in the last presentation, how they're all done with vintage German machines and the applied indices. But every aspect of the case, Jim, and every aspect of the timepiece, just the weight, the significance, and then you get it home and you're going to think, gosh, I should have got another one because I want to give this as a gift. You give this to somebody as a gift, they will never in a million years guess what you paid for.
I'm telling you, for
timepiece.
$99, this should have been a quartz. This should have been a simple 3-hand quartz with an interchangeable strap set and out the door. You're getting an automatic. You're getting 3 straps, black, red, and blue, all included in your packaging. As a matter of fact, I have not held up the packaging, and that's all on me for not showing that to you yet during this particular presentation. What you're getting obviously your watch. I believe they're all going to ship on the same color, on black, right?
Yeah, the
all
actual
ship
watch
on the
is
black
loaded
strap.
on the black strap, absolutely.
And then you'll receive blue and red as your additional straps. You'll receive a polishing cloth, your warranty information, certificate of authenticity, all that kind of, well, not certificate of authenticity, but just the certificates from Stuhrling.
Welcome booklet.
Saying that you've purchased a Stuhrling, welcome to the family, that kind of good thing. All this in one package.
Yeah.
And I have the watch propped up, so I'm just going to hold it like that. And you got old Maxie there. He's on the cover. Mm-hmm. So what's up with Max? Give us the story of Max Stuhrling.
Well, you know, Max Stuhrling was what we call a ghost watchmaker back in the 1800s in the Valley de Joux, and he was a master watchmaker for many of the famous brands, and there's a long history and story about him that goes on. You can check that out on our website. And Max Stuhrling's great-grandson was involved in the original formation of the company about 8 or 9 years ago, Jim.
I tell you, when I die, I hope I'm embossed on a big orange box. V91500.
Here's the black one, Jim. And again, this is my choice. I said it in the first presentation, but just take a look at this. I mean, you can wear this with a suit, absolutely. But I mean, jeans and a t-shirt, a polo shirt, slacks, go to the park. You can wear this in a boardroom.
Did you just say the word slacks?
Okay,
slacks?
What should I say?
Pants.
All right.
Dress pants.
Pants.
Slacks.
All right.
What is this, 1952?
All right, Jim. Anyway, listen, all the hallmarks are here. The curved case, step design on the bezel.
No slacks whatsoever.
The Cristerna crystal, 50 meters water resistance. You don't want to miss this. We're so proud of it. I want everyone from Stuhrling Nation to make sure you get one of these. At least bring it home, try it. If you don't like it, then you know what to do. But anybody who's never tried a Stuhrling, I want to reach out to you, and I'd actually like to
bring
see
into the family.
If anybody out there owns a Manchester Ozzie of any type, I'd like to hear from them, Jim.
You know what you guys should do? I know a lot of you are on Facebook, and a lot of you have friended me up, and please continue to do so. Look me up on Facebook under Jim Skelton, and remember how to spell it, Skelton. Look for my ugly mug. I'm one of the 300 Jim Skeltons that are out there. But once you've done that, go over and find Stuhrling Original, Stuhrling. And they have their own Facebook page. Everybody that has a Manchester Ozzie, I want you to post out there right now. I'm serious, do it right now if you can. Put your laptop on your lap while you're watching us on TV and tell everybody out there how much you love your Manchester Ozzie, why people should own a Manchester Ozzie. Break out your phone, your cell phone, with your little camera on it, and give them a little wrist shot, and post the pictures up there on Stuhrling's page. Remember, it's Stuhrling Original. Go out there on Facebook and tell everybody else out there why you love your Manchester Ozzie and why this one is such a ridiculous deal, because the regular ones were $150 at its cheapest price, and the black IP version was a one-time special at $131 at its lowest price. You're getting more here and paying less than anybody's ever paid in the history of Stuhrling for a Manchester. Tell everybody on Facebook why they need to jump on this. We're going to have a little Facebook uprising as of right now. You watch. And then come visit my page and goof off for a while.
Very nicely said, Jim. And here
my page is like a sandbox.
And here you've got a nice look through the acrylic dial plate in the middle at the top plates of what's remaining of the top plates of the movement here, Jim. And you can see that little regulator wheel going around that's got like that gear-like edge.
It's just beautiful. You almost want to cry when you see something that beautiful for such a low price. I don't know how they do it. I ain't gonna ask. You know what I think it's time to do? I think it's time to bring up a preview of all the good stuff that's coming this hour. Actually, just a small selection. The Emperor V90094. Not the same Emperor as earlier. This is now in the rose tone or gold tone with black mother of pearl chapter rings. That's right, black mother of pearl. It's a 40 millimeter case. Beautiful, elegant presentation. Dual time zone. $199.95. 5 value pay of $39.99. And the Super Apocalypse XT. Wow, you just keep adding words and letters to the Apocalypse. V91398.
You're going to dig that brown one, Jim.
It's $208.45. I don't know. I think I'm kind of digging the rose a little more, making brown number 2. But you know what? You really can't go wrong with either one. 5 value pay of $41.69. Beautiful mechanical automatic there in the largest size. Actually, now it's the second largest size because the Revelation was largest.
That's correct.
And V91417, the Torino, arguably the sportiest watch Stuhrling, I think, has ever made. That is an awesome rubber strap. It looks like the skin of a rhino. And it's $98.67. Ah!
And by the way, that's the Torino Lista.
Torino Lista.
That's the camera.
Why do we always forget to put that word up there?
I don't know, because the original Torino is 3 hands
doesn't
and a date.
fit.
But the Lista has the calendar, so.
Would that be Lista?
Yes.
There you go. V91409, the Legacy. I want to clarify something very quickly here.
Sure.
There is a similar looking watch that's been in your collection for a while that was built originally as a quartz. I think people kind of look at that classic look. Now, it's not the same dial arrangement or whatnot, but they look at that big, oversized rounding. No, this is a mechanical automatic, folks. This is $128, and you're buying into a true automatic. This is one of the things that Stuhrling does so well, is they will give you old world traditional watchmaking, like these elegant individually hand-applied numerals, these beautiful rich colors and the saturation of color, and then do it for a ridiculously low price. Now, you just saw 3 fantastic colors, the gray, the brown, and the black silver tone. I am wearing the silver tone blue.
Yeah.
Oh, please get on the phone now if you want this blue.
And I'll tell you, Jim, the Legacy Classic really broke new ground for us. This is the largest case size we've done in what otherwise might be thought of as a dress timepiece. This is a 48.
It's a big
it's a
honking watch.
48 millimeter on a dress size. Now, Jim is showing you the blue, and I will say the blue is probably the edgiest of the group. So maybe not your most formal dress piece. Yeah, now that Jim is pointing out to you the texturization that is over there on the, let's say, the West Coast, okay? It's over there on the left side of the dial there. So it's very unique. It's kind of subliminal. It's on all of the dials.
It just highlights that 9-eater, that 9 o'clock subdial.
Yeah, that's your small seconds. And, when you take small seconds off of the center axis, I think it's a very, it's a classy touch. It makes it very elegant. And this is a mechanical automatic. One of us will show the case back. And the blue, like I say, is probably the least dressy version because it's a little edgy. And here's that case back. Thank you, Jim. Mechanical automatic. You can see the perlage treatment on the back plates and the Côte de Genève on the pillar plates. And then you can even see the damier finish on the rotor, Jim.
Beautiful articulated crown.
This is from our Heritage series, by the way, in our classic collection.
Here is the simplest of the dials, the black. It's really more of a charcoal. This, if you're looking for, again, old world craftsmanship, old world watchmaking, this is where you go, right here. It's $128. It's a drop in the bucket. I want you to think about this. You've been watching Stuhrling now for a while, and you've been thinking, well, I should probably try him because Jim's always saying it's one of his top favorite brands now, and Larry has obviously so much passion for his brand, but I just don't know which one to go with. I would tell you this is one of those watches that if you start here, you will gain a true understanding of why I make the statements that I do about Stuhrling, why I love Stuhrling as much as I do. This watch, and I will absolutely play favorites here, the gray. The gray, it's the only one that has the red on the outer chapter. My number 2 is actually
the brown.
Larry's number 1 is the brown, because it's a very unique tone of brown in that radiant sunray finish dial with the rose numerals. Own this watch, wear it with pride, and understand why there are so many Stuhrling fanatics out there. I guarantee if you buy this watch, you will come back for more. There's no way around it, I guarantee it. Now, also for $128, how about the Excursion? The Excursion got a little bigger, didn't it?
Well, this one's pretty big, Jim. This is 46 or 47. I'll measure it on when we get it out here, but that's very large on the wrist.
And it is only $128. 3 value pay, $42.90. Yellow being the hottest color to go right now. I still prefer the black and rose, like 1,000 to 1. And, oh my goodness, I haven't seen a Milano in like a year?
Well,
two?
we're doing this clearly here. It says clearance here, so I think the quantities on this are very, very limited, Jim.
They must be, and I don't even realize. I didn't realize we even had any. $89.
49 millimeter case.
Very sporty.
Very sporty. Mm-hmm.
And right now, we're going to go into elegance once again. We're going to go into the Emperor, the 90094. And this time we are getting plenty of time to air this and talk about all the features. Gold tone black now. I have fewer than a dozen. So if you want the gold tone black, you've got to act. The only difference here between the two is going to be the finish color, gold tone or rose tone. I decided to put rose tone on, no particular reason. What you got is a 40 millimeter case itself. It will play maybe like a 41, almost a 42, but it's a 40. I think having the stirrup here does add a little bit of size to it. What you're getting is the look of when pocket watches made their way to wristwatches. Back in those days, they would either solder a loop onto the case or a T-bar and attach a strap. Now, this happened first only on women's watches. Women were the first to do this. It was actually considered to be feminine. Men did not wear a watch on their wrist. Proper gentleman was dressed appropriately at all times and carried a pocket watch. Now, it was during wartime, and soldiers didn't have that ability to stop and crouch and reach into pockets and this and that. It was actually cavalry that decided to go and make actual wristwatches for men. They converted their pocket watches to wear them on the battlefield. When they came back home, that popularized it to pretty much everybody else in the world. So what you're seeing here is that culture change from pocket watches to wristwatches. So you're buying it, number one, on that story right there, to be able to share that story with whomever that you share the watch with. But then you're buying it flat out for the beauty and elegance.
This is one of the most, I would say, the most formal timepiece in our entire collection. Now, in the last hour, we showed two of the new colors from 2009. These are two of the original executions, Jim, rose gold black and gold tone black. The rose tone is 16 karat rose gold layering, and the gold tone is 23 karat yellow gold layering. If you missed those, then let me tell you, this is a dual time zone piece. The subdial at 3 o'clock is a secondary time zone. And you do have an open heart complication over there at 9 o'clock, and it's got the vertical bridge with the 6 blued screws. You've got that inlaid chapter ring that gives you the hour markers that are Roman numerals, Jim, and they're all individually applied to that inlaid chapter ring.
Now, typically, you would never take a mechanical or automatic movement and run the hands counterclockwise, but on this caliber, you want to do that. Why is that?
Well, Jim is going to set his time differential. Now, if you keep your eyes on the subdial at 3 o'clock, you see how it's set at 10, it's showing 10 o'clock, and then on the main dial it's showing at 7 o'clock. So he's got a 3-hour time difference. Thank you, Jim. But if he wanted to set it, what you have to do your differential is you have to go counterclockwise.
I got to go all the way back around.
Right, and keep your eye once again.
Now that hour hand has stopped on the subdial, and now I can go forward and set wherever I want. Look at that.
Right, and so you set your time differential by going in reverse. Very nicely done, Jim. So it comes with instructions on how to set that. It's very simple to do, and then once you set it, you're done. And one trick I always do is I set my secondary time zone 6 hours ahead. That way, when I wear this to a highbrow affair, Jim, I can say, oh, look, it's 3 o'clock in the morning in Paris.
Oh, you're so elegant.
But no, really, you might only wear this once a year, but this is a go-to dress-up piece that you will just love and you will wear. And ladies like to wear it as well. I think Margaret.
Yeah, Margaret is going to demonstrate that for you, because this is a great size for ladies.
Absolutely stunning. And
I love the fact that you cut, and that's so fragile, you cut mother of pearl and inlaid it as a chapter ring. And, I mean, you carved into it for the subdial.
That's right.
You obviously cut it, the notch out where it's actually more of a C shape.
Right.
That's brave, because you can chip, crack, and shatter mother pearl like nobody's business when you start doing stuff like that.
Well, that is actually the hardest part of the manufacturing process of this entire timepiece. Not only that it has to be, custom cut to fit that area, but also it has to lay flush, Jim. It's got to be flush with the dial, and there's a little bit of a groove that it fits into. But again, it is part of the difficult part of the manufacturing process here. But this is an all-time signature piece for us. It has been for 5 years. We are literally up to 9 different executions, and these are 2 of the original.
Really? I didn't realize you had done so many.
9 executions, wow. Jim. And
so the popularity on this watch, it really is.
And we added those 2 new colors you saw earlier tonight. But these 2 here are 2 of the original executions, Jim.
Wow. The 90094. Do what you've got to do, but get on the phone now.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It is rich and elegant. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. You may not have that many affairs going on that you need a watch like this, but those times that you have a particular affair, let's say, whatever you want to use for an example, when you're going to break out the tuxedo, or you're going to break out your most expensive suit or buy a new suit just for that occasion, you're going to wish you had this watch, because you're going to think back to my words right now, and you're going to say, this would have been the perfect time to wear this. So do it now. Buy it now to keep for that occasion, because when the time comes, we're all called upon at some point to do that. When you put this watch on, that's going to make the whole look right there.
Look how this gold tone looks on me, Jim. And when you wear this to one of those events, whether it's a New Year's Eve or a wedding or what have you.
Wait, only 5 left of the one you're wearing. 5.
Only 5 on the gold tone?
Yeah.
When you wear it to one of those events, you're almost going out of your way to show it to people, and you'll end up taking it off and passing it around.
You won't even have to. They're going to notice this. They're going to see it popping out from under your cuff and go.
People will just go crazy for it. And, I told you the story, what happened to me, where it got past the other side of the room, and I almost didn't think I was going to get my watch back. But
and you were in the company of some very high-profile people in the watch industry.
Yeah.
And they loved your watch.
Yeah.
Now, folks, these are guys that are captains of the industry that are wearing $100,000 plus watches going, let me see Larry's watch.
Yeah, and
this was it.
It plays like thousands of dollars. And this is just a great opportunity here, Jim.
By the way, a total of 5 cabochons on this watch.
Yeah, because on the T-bars, absolutely.
Yep. Just... that is the master right there, just the master. All right. We've got a quick spotlight to tell you about. You know it. You love it. It is gold, coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. Check this out. You can get 14-karat yellow, rose, white, green, or chocolate gold. I mean, can you even believe that? And you're going to get an anniversary price. You're going to get 3 value pays. Every time we brought these up, they've sold out, by the way.
50 with the pusher.
Man, oh man, oh man. And coming up next hour, our good friend and yours, Mr. Sean Wilsey, is going to come out here and educate you about collectible coins. He's also going to entertain you. He's quite a funny fellow, that Sean Wilsey. And then at 5 a.m. Eastern, gold style, gold at affordable prices. And at 7 a.m. Eastern, home decor clearance. Hopefully I will have been able to fall asleep by that time. It's going to be a long night, I can tell it. And right now, we're going to go into really quite a special timepiece here. Very, very quickly, 48-millimeter case comes to $50 with the protected crown guard. V91521. We have about a minute on this. I'm going to let Larry take over after I tell you the price of $129. The value pays of $42.90. And now, Larry, take it away.
Well, this is our excursion. It is from our Sportsman's Collection, our Safari series, Jim. Same series as our Expedition. And the signature characteristic here, of course, is the crown cover, the bridge with the locking crown cover. Which is a pretty well-known look in the watch industry, and this one does have a Citizen quartz chronograph movement.
OS20.
Yes, the OS20 with the 3 registers, absolutely, Jim. And
24-hour indication.
24-hour indication at 3 o'clock. It's got the cushion-style case, or some people might call it a TV-style case. big curved crystal, and they said it was going to be short, and I assume what I'm wearing would have to be ordered as yellow.
You're in yellow, I'm wearing the black. The black and rose tone is my pick. About 3 dozen and 1 dozen, or 2 dozen, and they're going to go very, very quickly. Yellow strap, by the way, you can't see it in that shot. We have figured out a way to completely obscure the main special thing about that watch, that choice anyway. Yellow, yellow strap. Looks hot. By the way, from the first hour, actually, the Ascot Pavilion for $83. 1 remaining in rose tone, the rest are in gold tone. It's a 46 millimeter uber slim. What was it, 9 millimeter or 7?
I measured it was 8.
8.
I said 7.5, and I measured it came out to 8.
There
I was
you
pretty
go.
close.
8 millimeters slim. Free value pays at $27. And my producer's pick of the night, the Targa Elite.
Yes.
Black is the most elite. Go figure. 164.34. One of the first models we saw, the brown ionic plating. It was the first would have been, it was like a sea lion or something, right?
No, this was one of the first probably.
Yeah. The sea lion was also one of the, or
it's
that
got
may have been the
a
first.
bronze tone, and now here is another one with the bronze tone, Jim, from the Milano.
Yes. Oh, the 90914, the Milano.
You're going to be a heck of an old man, Jim.
I'm going to be funny when I'm old. I'm going to wear the short yellow shorts with the tall black dress socks up to my knees and sandals. And I will have tennis balls on my walker as well as on the antenna of my car.
Okay.
I'm going to be great. So you've got black rose, you have the brown, and then you have the silver tone black. Very quickly, it's a big watch. This was one of the first leaps that Stuhrling made over 44 millimeters. This is, I'm calling it a 48. It feels like a 48.
9.
Yeah, or a 49, actually, is really what it feels like.
49.
I've been off by 1 millimeter all 3 hours, all night long. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I can't focus.
Yeah, it's a 49 mil. This is from our Italia series, okay?
Because it's very Italian design, very Italian
Right,
inspired.
Milano.
Did you have an Italian designer do all these?
Well,
or is it just an Italian feel?
No, it's got an Italian influence to it, and what that is all about is how the way the Italians will incorporate functionality into the design. And you take a look at these pillar posts; those are actually functional. This is a sandwich-style case, Jim, with a case top, case body, and case bottom, and it's got the pillar posts in the corners that actually do hold it together.
That's right.
And yet, it's part of the design, and that's something the Italians do so well.
Form and function.
Very much so, and that fits that whole Italia series here. And this does have a Swiss ISA 3-hand with a date movement, so you do have a Swiss movement in this as well. But you're right, Jim. This is one of the first forays that we made into larger case designs and larger case sizes. And I would say this is a 20-something, 30-something kind of watch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it
Sport
does
watch.
have a younger feel to
Absolutely.
it. Not excluding any ages, of course, but definitely has a more youthful feel to it.
And it's got the integrated
This is
rubber
my favorite.
Yeah.
I like the black rose. It's such a,
Very
you
striking.
you walk the halls of Basel, and you go to these big multi-million-dollar display booths, and you go up and you point at a watch, and they go, yes, sir, that's $47,000 in rose gold, black, and rubber, and that's the kind of high-profile look that has been so prevalent, I would say, over the past 6 years, really. That color combination, the black and rose, has dominated the industry of the high-end watches to a degree where now it just becomes instinctive. You see that color combo and you're instantly attracted to it and go, I gotta have me some of that. But I don't mean to take away anyway from the brown.
I love this brown because of the bronze tone, Jim.
Exactly. Look at that bezel color. That is not black IP. That's brown IP. IP standing for ionic plating, which is the coloration, the surfacing of the stainless steel.
But rather than it gives a bronze tone, it looks like a solid piece of bronze. And you notice the strap integration. It's not just at the lugs; it goes all the way. The case integration of the rubber strap right up to the case here. Perfectly fitted, fits nicely on the wrist, sits comfortably on top of the wrist, gives you a nice curvature that wraps the wrist as well. 49 millimeter case design. I mean, this is a, jeans and t-shirt. I mean, look, I'm wearing it with a suit here, or a suit look anyway. but and you could pull that together too. But this is a great everyday piece, Jim, because it does have that Swiss quartz movement.
If you'd like, I can strip down and take off my shirt and show them a casual look.
Go ahead. Don't let me stop you.
No, I was going to do it, but I'm being told I have a customer choice review to read, so let's do that.
Let's do that.
I was saved by the bell. Oh, and it's a long one, too. Saves me all kinds of time. It says, absolutely A+. What a watch in the rose tone black. Absolute knockout, and what a price. That's from somebody in California.
Okay.
I don't know if it's an IWSA or LWSA. But Louisa from California, we appreciate. You guys got to start making up names that are pronounceable. LWSA. I can't say that on the air. I have no way to enunciate that.
Yeah, this is a good clearance value right here.
Here's my
good
favorite,
clearance
though.
price, Jim. I hope everybody takes advantage, gets one of these at this price.
You gotta have that look. Listen, this is not going to be your stepping out on the town watch. You paid $89 for it. It's a great knock-around beater that looks really, 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 really expensive. Looks really hot. And it's incredibly comfortable to wear. Just grab it, enjoy it, give it away as a gift. By the way, with the amount of people that are on the phone lines right now, I would highly suggest visiting our website. It is called ShopNBC.com. I know, funny enough, what a strange name, because it's ShopNBC. So ShopNBC.com. And if you want to see everything that we've aired tonight, you can check On Air Now, and you can see the current hour and look at the 2 hours previous. There were a couple of surprises that maybe you missed out on, like that El Capo numbered limited edition, final quantity. Just saying. All right. Here we go. The 91398. Not just any old Apocalypse, the Super Apocalypse XT. For $208.45, 5 value pays of $41.69. I'm going to go ahead and put on my particular favorite, which is the one that has the rose tone with the black dial. Larry's favorite is the brown, because again, it has that brown ionic plating.
Sorry, Jim.
Let's talk about something that's going to jump out at people right away,
Sure.
and that's the size of this watch.
Yeah, this is a 49 millimeter case design, Jim, on our Apocalypse series. We've got a lot of different case sizes going here, but this one now, if you're familiar with our Apocalypse XT, which was on a rubber strap, now we put it on this really nice solid stainless steel link bracelet. And it is a Skelton mechanical automatic timepiece, our ST90089 movement. But what we've done here is we've given you a nice mainspring reveal and balance wheel reveal here. And I really like that. It's kind of got a turbine-like covering there with that kind of three-pronged approach there. And you can actually see the mainspring right through it, and that's over there at the 1 o'clock position. And then down there on the lower portion of the dial, you see it's got a tinted acrylic dial plate that you could actually see through there and see what's remaining of the top plates as well.
That's right. So you're getting the beauty of the dial along with the beauty of the movement all on your wrist at the same time. There it is from the reverse side. Folks, look at the level of craftsmanship. Number one, an individually screwed down case back. Now what that means is instead of like turning it in like a bottle cap on a screwed in case back, they have had to machine this case, recess it to drop this plate in there, drill and tap these 6 individual holes, custom make 6 individual screws to fit those holes, and then hand screw it down. Solid end link bracelet with a very strong link bracelet, very thick links as well, with the hammered finish, or the knurling, as you may want to call it. There in the bezel, you've got that 10-sided bezel. It's so famous in the Apocalypse series. The Stuhrling S-shaped screws. Those are S's in the Stuhrling logo S. It's not just a regular run-of-the-mill screw. All of these details, all of these fine touches cost extra money. It is custom tooling. It is hand fabrication or hand assembly in many cases, putting all this together. All of this, it's 208. We're not talking about thousands of dollars here, folks. When you start looking at details like that in a retail store at high-end watches, you are looking at thousands of dollars.
Look at the
not with
bronze.
Stuhrling. And I didn't hear the music in my ear. I apologize. It's already time to go.
And the bronze tone is just gorgeous.
And rose tone, there are fewer than 2 dozen. So everybody's agreeing with us too. Silly,
Okay.
silly them. What's wrong with them agreeing with us? All right.
Get whatever you want as long as it's rose or bronze.
Now, what you need to do is be shopping online. Go to ShopNBC.com. Check out all the goodies we got for you. Because there are Stuhrling watches that we have not aired, by the way, that have not even aired yet. Because there are shows later on tonight at 8 and 9 o'clock, I believe, or 9 and 10 o'clock? 9 and 10 o'clock Central. So that's 10 and 11 Eastern. Now, we aired this to you in the first hour. Rose tone sold out.
Yep.
So thank you to all of you who picked that up. There are now only gold tone remaining. And I don't think we really have a lot of the gold tone either, so we're going to make this kind of quick. 40, 46?
Or 45 or 46. We could measure it again.
46 millimeters in diameter on an elegant watch is not what you hear very often. And then 8 millimeters in thickness. That is extraordinarily slim. Yet, look, you still have a tremendous amount of detail on the dial. V91467. For $83, this is a no-brainer offer. You grab it while it's on the screen and be thankful you had the offer.
Yeah, this is a great everyday for the office kind of a piece, Jim. It's very, very light. You can, on the wrist. You know, it's not going to be cumbersome whatsoever. You know, if you're in that kind of an office environment where, you know, maybe you don't have to necessarily wear a suit every day, but you know, you got to get a little bit dressed up, go to the office kind of thing. This is going to be great because, again, it's not going to be overly cumbersome. It's not going to tire you out all day long. It's just going to be on your wrist. You're going to forget about it, but it's dressy. It's a dressy look piece. It's a very elegant piece. It's a very classy piece. And as you pointed out, super slim. Everything in our Ascot Park series is super slim. And by the way, I know it has the individually applied, you know, indices that go all the way around for the hour markers. But did you notice the 24-hour indication?
Indeed.
On the,
so if somebody says, meet me in the park at 1400 hours, first you go, what are you, a spy? Is there like a code word? And then you say, I know what 1400 hours is. It's 2 p.m. because I looked on my watch.
And there's the 14 right over there at the 2 o'clock. And you do have the small seconds. It is a Swiss quartz movement as well.
And you walk up and you meet him. You go, the password is the fat man walks alone. And if he doesn't repeat that exact statement, you run away screaming like a child. I don't know what do spies do. I don't know. $83. I want to pass this off to Margaret so she can try it on. Because I know 46 millimeters, it's a big size, but I want you to see what happens when it falls onto her wrist. I think you're going to see something that will surprise you. It's going to work very, very well, won't it, Larry? Won't it, Larry?
Absolutely.
Right.
Listen, anything's going to look good on Margaret, but I see that the rose tone is sold out, Jim. So
Oh yeah, rose is long gone, man. You got to go with the gold tone if you want this at all. By the way, this watch would be fantastic if you happen to be like a coin collector or something. Very elegant, very refined, kind of has the relief pattern of maybe a fine minted coin on the dial. And in a few minutes, you're going to understand why I even brought up coins to begin with. 3 value pays of $27. Actually, this is a watch that Sean should be wearing with the suit that he's wearing tonight. This would go perfect. Very elegant, very stately and classic, much like the man himself. V91467. Do what you got to do, man. You saw the rose tone sell out. Do you really want to be without the watch? Do you really want to watch the gold tone sell out and you sit there and go, oh, gee, I wish I would have? Don't be that guy, because that guy is annoying. That guy never gets anything done, and that guy misses out on all the fun in life. You want to have fun in life, don't you? Buy this watch. Fun not guaranteed. 3 value pays $27.92. Want to see something neat? Watch this.
You know, the contrast stitching is kind of cool, too.
It disappeared. Where'd the watch go? I don't even see it. It's so slim. Try that trick at a party. Oh, where'd the watch go? Oh, it's gone.
Genuine
You know what's
French
funny?
leather. Yeah.
I was going to say, the
There's that
strap.
graphic again.
There's that. I would strangle that graphic, man. Wait, is this like a music television channel all of a sudden? Maybe we should do like really quick camera cuts. Anyway, you'll notice that the strap. Thank you very much. You have a career in music videos ahead of you. The strap is almost as thick as the case. That's how slim the case is. You notice that?
Yeah.
Look at that. And the way that it's built, this is something that was done back in the 40s and 50s. What this allows the watch to do is the lugs are set up high in the case, and the case back has a relief like this. It sinks it down into your wrist. It makes the watch look even slimmer. Because Larry had to measure that with the case back. If you just measure what's visible on the wrist, that's maybe like 5-6 millimeters. So it's gonna appear even slimmer than it really is. And then you can still look at all the relief on the dial. There's a lot of work that goes into that. Anytime you get smaller and slimmer, it costs more money. Much like those diets where they ship you the food and you go to counseling. To get smaller and slimmer, it costs you a lot of money. By the way, a man that knows all about elegance, class, and timeless beauty,
Jim
Sean
Skelton,
Wilson.
ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely right. Absolutely.
How are you, bud?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. I like that tie, by the way.
Thank you very much.
It's the best ties in the world.
It's brand new, actually.
This old thing?
Anyway, any idea who these two guys are in this coin here? Think Flight. Who would you associate with Flight?
The Wright
Wright
brothers?
brothers.
Wow.
Absolutely right.
I didn't know they made it to a coin.
Most people don't. Thank you. I couldn't have fed this information to you any better. Indeed, in 2003, there was a special commemorative celebrating their inaugural flight, and we're going to have this coin coming up, the first flight commemorative in mint state 70 condition. Brand new today, even though the coin was minted 7 years ago. It'll be our first opportunity to share that coming up in Coin Shop in our very next hour. So we're going to have an hour of silver coins, an hour of dollar-themed coins as well. So I'm going to go get ready for that. Checking my Stuhrling here. I see that we still have about 15 minutes to go in the show.
Nice.
So don't want to waste
Now,
any more time.
you have like one whole hour. It's like all silver coins, right?
Right you are.
That is
right
awesome.
you are.
I learned
We're
that off
excited.
your Facebook page, which our viewers can sign up to talk to you on.
Right you are.
Because we like Facebook here at ShopNBC. You'd think we own stock in Facebook as many times as we mention it. Facebook. All right.
Larry's on Facebook.
No,
Stuhrling,
Larry is
Stuhrling.
not on Facebook. Of that, you can be sure. The 90398, but Stuhrling Original is. And by the way, you guys had better be posting on Stuhrling Original's Facebook page and posting up your comments about your Manchester Ozzie, because I asked you to. And I hope you're doing it, because I want people to understand it's not just us that think it's great. Everybody that owns one thinks it's great. All right. Right now, it's time to get a little sportified, though. V90398. What you're getting here is a choice of black, silver tone brown, or silver tone black. Say black, black, silver tone brown, silver tone black. Great two-tone looks. Ooh, it's a two-register, a two-eye chronograph, very indicative of racing chronographs from the 50s and 60s that, you would just pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. Very modern look, however, very big again, and a kind of a pilot-style bracelet. The trumpet-shaped pushers. You got a lot of cool stuff going on here. Bugle is what I meant to say, not trumpet.
Well, listen, Jim, you know how much I love our Targa series, our entire Targa. Now, this is the Targa Elite, okay? Because of the bracelet here. It's got those angled links, the solid stainless steel 7-row, or is it a 5-row? 5-row,
Five.
but with the angled links, though, Jim, with the individually custom molded links. But this one, as you point out, Jim, has that Citizen Miota OS 21 with the two-register chrono, and we did something a little special where we put the Stuhrling S over there in the subdial at the 9 o'clock position. You got the crisp-cut bezel, which is a signature of the Targa, all of the Targa timepieces.
Look at this. It's 5 value pays of $32. Just $32, a little more than $1 a day.
On clearance.
You're going to use more than $1 a day's worth of toilet paper or toothpicks or cotton balls. I don't know. No, cotton balls are pretty cheap. You'd have to go through a lot of cotton balls.
Check out this.
But you're spending so little on a daily basis to
Yeah.
get this. Get it.
Yeah, and I assume, Jim, the one I've grabbed is probably your favorite here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, the black.
Check this out. Guys, you don't want to miss this. I don't care which execution you get. This is a great opportunity here on clearance here. You have a nice, great everyday piece in the sense that you have a nice movement on this
That
piece.
is black-tacular.
Yeah. 48 millimeter
I'm
piece.
trying to make that catch. It will catch. That and black-tastic. That will catch. That'll be, you'll see it in like a watch catalog next year. It's blacktacular. It'll happen. I assure you. All right, V90398. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go into my host pick, because my host pick is exciting. It's refreshing. It's very, very high end, very low calorie, no trans fat, and very, 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 very sporty. Dare I say the sportiest, one of the sportiest watches that Stuhrling has ever made. It's a new current collection. It's not like you're buying into something that's like, 5 years old and it's new old stock, and it's a clearance price on a relatively new model. Now, I have gone on record as stating before that I absolutely love the white, and I do.
That's the one I grabbed.
The one I would go for first is the black and rose, then the white, and then we also have the black. Or we may have called it silver tone black. Black silver tone. So black rose tone, then white, and then the black.
Are we missing the orange sample, Jim?
I'm sorry?
The
orange is gone, man. The orange, like, poof.
Oh, it's sold out?
Poof. It poofed.
Okay.
And look at that. Now, another large diameter, let's start here, V91417, it's a clearance price of $98. You'll notice that the movement looks somewhat familiar if you were watching last hour to that Gen X, that very high-end, much more expensive timepiece, yet this possesses the same retrograde day of the week, the same 24-hour indication, and the same calendar up on the 12 o'clock wheel. Larry, how in the world can we do this for $98? Are we out of our minds?
Well, it's on clearance, Jim, and this is our Torino Lista from our Italia series. Once again, in our Lifestyles collection, very sporty. I grabbed the one with the white strap and black. I mean, you talk about an Italian influence. To me, this one looks the most Italian here.
I feel like oiling myself up and heading out to the beach when I see that white. Absolutely.
I think this is a 49 millimeter case, just like the Milano, actually, Jim. Let me just double check it. Can you see that? I don't have my glasses.
By the way, Larry is oiling himself up to show you the white. Yeah, I want to take one more phone call before we go. 48 millimeters.
48 millimeter case design.
Let's do this. Let's talk to Ronald in West Virginia. Ronald, you are going to be the final caller for our watch programs this morning. How are you tonight?
How you doing, Jim? How you doing, Larry?
Good, Ronald.
You've got to be on a major caffeine high to be up this late in West Virginia.
Hey, look, I've been watching you guys for about 6 months now, and this is my first Stuhrling that I've bought.
What did you get?
In the 6 months, I've bought about 10 watches.
Okay.
We love you. Thank you so much, Ronald. Which Stuhrling did you buy tonight?
I bought the Legacy.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And, oh, man, you guys are great. I want to tell you, Jim, I'm a salesman myself, and Jim could probably sell a snowball to an Eskimo.
Well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
You guys are great, man. You got me up 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning watching you guys, and I just can't wait to see you when you come on TV so I can buy something. And I want to tell you the quality of the watches are just fantastic.
So are we delivering what we promised?
I have Renatos, I have Androids, and this is my first Stuhrling, and I'm looking forward to getting in. I want to thank you guys for just giving me the knowledge about watches that I just know so much about watches now, and I just love collecting watches, and I just love watching you guys on TV, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Well, we appreciate you. And I want to ask you, Ronald, are we delivering on the promises that we make here on the shows? Because I know sometimes it may sound outlandish, the things that we say, but are we delivering on those promises?
Absolutely. And I watched you guys for about 6 months before I even bought anything. I was like, is this for real? And I just kept watching you guys and watching you guys. And finally, when I bought my first watch and I actually got it in my house and I saw it, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my God.
Well, wait till he gets that Stuhrling. I mean,
so
wow.
now I'm hooked.
When you get that Stuhrling, you're going to be on a whole new level, because that particular watch You know, like I say, it's hard to pick just 1 out of 3 hours. There's a lot of watches. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of good choices. But that one is one of the really special ones that when you get it, you go, now I get why people like Stuhrling.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like it, Ronald. Welcome aboard the Stuhrling Nation.
Thank you. And I finally got my first Stuhrling, and I'm going to love it, I know. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for doing what you're doing. And keep up the good work, Jim.
I thank you, Ronald. As long as you're there, I'll be here. How about that?
Hey, that's great. That's great. You're a funny guy. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys
Have a great
are great,
night.
man.
Man, Ronald is just in such a great mood. It's 3 o'clock in the morning in West Virginia, and that man has energy like he just woke up. Just fantastic. Do you think we can? Do we have... Sure. We'll try to get one more call. My producer says, I think you can do it. We're going to talk to Tom in Florida. Okay. Another one burning the midnight oil. How are you there?
Hi, Jim. How you doing? Hi, Larry. How are you?
Good, Tom. How are you?
Terrific. What brings you to the show?
I'm doing great. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I got the men's Alpine in the orange.
Okay.
And I absolutely love it. It's got the dual straps on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I did just wake up. Turn you guys on, and I see that you have an Alpine this evening, and I was wondering if that one came with 2 straps, or could you order another strap for that one too, so you could change on and off? Because I like to sometimes wear the mesh, sometimes the leather.
Yeah, this one is coming strictly, with the mesh bracelet. It's not coming with anything else. Now, if you bought that orange one, that strap that you got actually will fit on this particular piece because it's the same case with the same lugs. So if you wanted to use your existing leather strap that you have with the orange one, it will work on this one.
Okay, or could I go out and maybe purchase one that would match a little better, like the black?
Absolutely.
Yes, you'd have to get a 23 millimeter. Call our customer service. We might be able to help you.
Okay. Could somebody at customer service give me that number? Or?
Yeah, I tell you what we're going to do, because we only got a few seconds left in the show, I'm going to put you on hold. My producer's going to take down your information. We're going to get you hooked up with Stuhrling's customer service and get you a new strap to purchase to go with that. Folks at home, please, 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 there are only 15 seconds remaining. Grab this while you can. Crazy clearance price. I want to thank you, from me to you, from Larry to you, for being here as always. We very much appreciate your loyalty and realize you do have a choice where you shop, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. You should be sleeping. What's wrong with you? We appreciate that you're there, staying up with us for 3 whole hours of watches. Now, you and I are back tomorrow night at 10 and 11 o'clock Central. No. Eastern, 10 and 11 Eastern tomorrow night. Do you have any shows during the day?
I'm going to be 8 in the morning, I believe, with Wendy, and then a little bit later with at 12 noon with Allison.
So stay tuned for Mr. Sean Wilsey and collectible coins. Check it out.